What do you have, boys? Thank you for tuning in to the Hockey Tank podcast. This is Sunday, October 17th, 2021, in chilly Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. My name is Trevor Blackler, and as always, I'm joined today with the determined and dynamic Stephen Hale. How's it going today, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good, man. I got some midterms coming up, so I never got to watch too much hockey, but I watched a few of the games, and I'm liking what I'm seeing in Buffalo, but we'll get into it later.
Yes, sir, we will. So today on the pod, we'll recap last week's news and discuss some of the games, obviously, because it's exciting that we got hockey back consistently. Then we'll introduce this week's NHL Newfie of the Week and end off the show. We'll do some point projections and standing projections for the 2021-22 NHL regular season. Stumbled there a bit, struggled to get through that last sentence, but we're still going here.
Well, before we move on, man, I forgot to ask, how was your weekend, man?
Oh, my weekend was great. I I got away from all my responsibilities. I got midterms coming up too, and went for a golf tournament out in Terra Nova. So
that's perfect.
Yeah,
how's the course out there? Was it wet?
Oh, it was soaked and it rained all Saturday, and I was freezing, man. Yeah, it was brutal. It was the worst I've ever golfed.
How many guys did you have out there for?
28.
28. Oh, so like I didn't know if you and a couple of boys went for a few rounds.
It was our beer league, NBHL.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were out there. Yeah, so it wasn't all the league, but I mean, it's still a huge group.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Did you win? It was good. Oh, far from it, dude. Oh my god, I don't know. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. I was shooting so bad that I was drinking. Then I was getting so drunk I couldn't shoot, and I didn't know what was worse. So I don't know, man.
I'd probably shoot better on the booze, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like beer pong. Like you can't play it sober, and you obviously can't play it blackout. You need a nice happy medium.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
good buzz.
It was a good time.
That sounds sick, man. Maybe me and you'll get together for a golf game in Corner Brook one of these years.
Yeah, I'd say maybe over the summer. Are you going to be there all summer, or are you going to go home?
Yeah, I'm going to be here all summer. I was at the course once, so
nice.
It's a pretty nice spot there.
Yeah, we'll go out for a little round maybe over the summer. I plan on going out there and getting into Gross Mourne because I've never done that before either.
Yeah, man. I've been out there several times. Me and my girlfriend have hiked it. It's a beautiful spot, man. Tablelands, sick spot. Mars on Earth, basically.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Have you?
Yeah, I have. All those rocks, man.
Yeah, nothing grows. No vegetation grows on it because it's like I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, the plate come up on top of the vegetation plate, and nothing grows there, and it's like just a bunch of mountains with rocks and just a little bit of water. So it's a really cool spot. It actually looks like Mars in a way, so that's what I call it that, I guess.
Yeah, if it's all right with you, let's not talk about hockey. Let's do NL tourism this podcast.
Yeah, let's go. We're just rambling about fucking rocks for 10 minutes.
Yes, man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so there's this rock in White's Bay. Yeah, I agree.
Let's get into
it. I know hockey a bit better than I know NL tourism.
Yes.
So the first piece of news I have here, to no one's surprise, Mark Giordano was named Kraken's first captain. The assistants are Schwartz, Eberle, Gord, and Larson, and they're all going to be alternating captains.
Yeah.
What do you think of these guys? Do you think anybody got
snubbed,
left out? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a pretty solid group, and
I think that's a good leadership group too.
I couldn't see it being anybody else than Giordano. Although I didn't think they were going to name a captain. I thought they might have done it the Vegas way and waited a couple years, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with Giordano. He's a pure leader. So I think that was probably an easy decision for them.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a lot of leadership there. And I mean, after he goes too, you still got those other three guys in Gord, Eberle, and Schwartz that could take it if they wanted it. Speaking of Vegas, the 22 All-Star game will be played in Las Vegas this year.
That'll be sick.
That is going to be a great time for those fans. People are going to go there and just party all-Star break.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the NHL will fly us out to interview some of the boys.
Yeah, you never know, man. If we we got you guys out there.
My suitcase would be packed, man.
Oh, yeah. I'd be there in a heartbeat. Drop out of school. Leave my whole family behind.
That's it.
A group of 10 females were selected to officiate AHL games. One being Anthony Manta's sister.
Really?
That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool. I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yeah.
I
So
knew that
one,
they were getting selected, but I didn't know it was Anthony Manta's sister.
yeah, one of them. I found that pretty cool. Yeah, that's good. That's one more step to the NHL.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
the
getting
only thing I
closer.
worry about is just like you see these fellas reffing, getting hit by players, getting hit by pucks, you know? So I don't
Especially
know.
the breaking up scrums, right?
Yeah, true. That's another thing because you got like some players in the league that are like 230 and you don't want like
Yeah.
110-pound
I mean, it's just
misses
natural that
there.
the men are just bigger bodies than the women. That's just a natural feature of male
Yeah.
female. So I mean, if you're going in there and trying to break up scrums and you got fucking Bogosian going at
Ryan Reeves.
Tom Wilson or something, I mean, like you're gonna be like, you could get hurt. So hopefully
Yeah.
the players realize that when they if we win, I'm sure win because I know they're gonna officiate in NHL sometime. So when
Yeah.
it happens, hopefully they realize that and don't injure anybody.
Yeah. I'd say I think fighting's getting, less and less integrated into the game. And eventually I don't think there'll be any fights.
Yeah, but
Um,
honestly, man, in the last couple of years, I've seen it seems like I've seen a spark of like scraps in the game. To my knowledge, like I feel like 2015, 16, 17, there's like nothing but the last few years. I mean, with Kachuk's on the go and you got
yeah,
Wilson and Reeves. I feel like there's a little bit of a grinder mentality coming back
I
somehow.
hope so. I like that kind of hockey. I like hard hockey.
I love it. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Travis Hamonic and Brock Besser both missed the Vancouver Canucks season opener, and Besser has officially been placed on the injured reserve.
was he ever taken off? I mean, dude's on there all the time,
I
unfortunately.
know the guy's a piece of glass, man.
He
But
is. It sucks.
yeah, so I just thought that was cool because I looked at the roster for Vancouver and I thought it looked weak, and then that's why because these two guys aren't in. Travis Hamonic, for my money, is the best offensive defensive defenseman in the game. He's
The
I like
what?
this guy. I look, dude, best. It's a mouthful. The best offensive defensive defenseman in the game.
I don't even know what the fuck that means, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It means he's a stay-at-home defenseman that can generate a bit of offense like here and there. So he's the best offensive
Ryan
defenseman.
Suter, so he's a
Yeah,
stay-at-home defenseman who can generate offense. If that makes any
Travis
sense.
Hamonic is the fucking man for like third assist. Like he doesn't get any second
Yeah.
assists, but he gets a shit ton of third. Dude, pass
Oh
out of the
yeah.
zone, couple passes in the offensive zone, man. This guy's a stud. So I
Yeah.
was pissed to see
That's
him.
where he earns his contract.
Yeah, that's right. Not bad. So Suzuki finally signed a big boy deal.
Mm.
He gets 63 million over 8 years. On average, that comes out to 7.875 mil a year. What do you think of this contract?
Cashing in after the cup run, pretty much. Played a
Yeah,
prominent role as a young guy. I think he's their captain when Weber's done. And I think it was probably one of the best deals Montreal signed because, I mean, under 8 mil for a guy who's great two-way center. He's probably easy to coach and he's got a bit of offensive flair to him. I don't think he's the fastest player, but he's got good hands and, he gets his share of points. So I think it was a great deal.
I think so too. Like even if they had to pay, I don't know, 8 mil or more, this is your centerpiece now. This is who you kind of build that forward
Yeah.
core around. So getting him for 8 years, so you got that time to make moves and put people around him. Perfect
Best
deal.
contract ever signed.
Yeah, probably.
Bergevin's ever signed. I mean,
Yeah, that guy had a bad stretch for a while, just making shit moves, and everybody was on him. But I don't think anybody complains about this one.
no, definitely not.
The only thing I disagree with you there is I think Gallagher gets to see when Weber moves away from the game,
Yeah.
and then after
He's on the third
Gallagher,
line now.
I know, but he's still I when you say Montreal
Yeah.
Canadiens, I first think of Price, and then I think of Gallagher.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I
Those two
just know. I
guys
just
been
get a
there
weird
forever.
feeling that they're moving. I get a weird feeling that we're this year, they're 0-3 so far. I get a feeling if they start going in a bad direction, they're soon going to tear it down, man, and going the other way.
Jeez.
I got a feeling, man. I mean, Carey Price is getting old, and I mean, I don't know. I think 3 or 4 years in a row, they're just. I can see them moving in a new direction. I mean, but
I
they
mean, they've
draft
been
well, so
Yeah, they do. They've been on this, I don't know, playoff hunt for the last like decade and a half. So I'd
It
say,
seems like they're always in or out, kind of like a Philadelphia.
yeah,
But they have the potential when they get in there. They have the potential to go on a run.
they're always a
Kind of
fringe
like
team.
Dallas as well.
They always like just miss the draft lottery, and they always just miss playoffs. It's like I don't know. They're
In the
always
middle.
drafting
It's like a
around
Dallas
16.
man.
Yeah, Dallas. Well,
Dallas is that type of team. When they get in the playoffs, they get the ability to go on a run, but it wouldn't surprise me if they miss the playoffs altogether. That's what Montreal's like too.
Montreal's the new Dallas. Dallas made it to the Cup Finals, then shit the bed, and now
Yeah,
Montreal's doing the
exactly.
same thing.
That's just what those teams are like. I mean,
Yeah,
they're just not consistent enough in an 82 game schedule to, um, you know, just be that every year. But I mean, if they get in, they got the heart to go on a run. They got the grit. So that's just the way it is with those groups.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think they tear it down to Price. I think they try to get Price's cup until Price leaves, and then after that, it's like, all right, well, there's our, face the franchise guy, and let's tear it down and rebuild.
Mm-hmm. No points
So
for Caulfield in his first 3 games either. Your Calder Trophy
I
winner.
know I'm pissed off. I got him in fantasy. I took him half high in fantasy because I'm like, oh, this guy's getting 30 goals easy, but he'll warm up. He'll warm up.
Hopefully,
I got no doubt. He's my guy this year. He's my Calder winner. Um, Speaking of Calders and rookies, there's been a nice bit of rookie scoring so far in the first week. Hendricks Lapierre, Bowen Byram, McTavish, and Pod Colson all got their first NHL goals, and a lot more rookies got their first point as
points. Well. Yes,
Yeah, I should have done rookie points. I know Sider and Raymond got their first rookie points too.
I seen that. I watched some Red Wings highlights, and I seen that Lucas Raymond was involved in a lot of plays where he didn't get points, where Detroit scored. I often found he was the fourth guy to touch the puck. So yeah. I think Lucas Raymond could have probably had 2 or 3 extra points so far this year if he wasn't that other guy to touch the puck, right?
Yeah, for sure. He creates
plus
plays,
minus is good.
Yeah, he's a dynamic player, man. I love it. And fucking Tyler Bertuzzi gets 4 goals. Let's fucking go Red Wings. I'm sorry, this isn't the Red Wings podcast. I'm getting carried away. But I'm excited for this year. This is going to be a fun year to watch Red Wings hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Remember a couple weeks ago, Stephen, we were talking about our favorite players?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of grilled me a little bit there for picking Boone Jenner. Well, guess who gets named the captain of the Blue Jackets? Boone Jenner. And he scored his first game with a C on his chest. This guy's a stud, man. He's a stick. He's probably the best player in the league right now. No, but yeah, Boone Jenner gets captain. Dude, I'm getting carried away so easily. And the alternates are going to be Werenski, obviously, Gustav Nyquist, next rising superstar, and Borkstrand. So any players you think there got snubbed from the A? I think Werenski was deserving of a C too. I think it went back and forth between those guys. Now that Foligno's not there,
they probably looked at it. Yeah, they probably looked at Werenski because it's a big deal and everything, but I think they just chose a guy who leads in the room best, probably.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Brian Boyle signs a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins and then goes out on league min and then went out and scored in his first game. It's his first goal he scored in over a year. This guy's got to be thrilled. Almost out of the league. And then,
that's a great deal, man.
It is, yeah. Brian Boyle, I think
you can't go wrong.
Fourth line center. He's huge. You park him in front of the net, and nobody's moving him.
Yeah,
he's like
definitely.
He's like the forwards at Zdeno Chara. This guy's a beauty.
He's determined, man.
Yeah,
he's determined, man, and to leave for a year and come back. I think what Pittsburgh noticed was that he was captain for Team USA at the Worlds, and that's kind of what got Pittsburgh looking at him and saying, "Wow, this guy can still play." And so they bring him on a PTO and sign him right before the season goes, and he comes out in the first game and just lights it up. So that's good to see. I think he's going to be teams. Maybe he gets another couple of years in the league.
Yeah, hopefully this will extend his career because I don't know why more teams didn't jump at him. He was not bad in New Jersey.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a lot under his belt.
He's been in Tampa and Toronto and in Nashville. I think
he was in New Jersey
too.
Yeah. This guy's been
yeah, but he
everywhere.
was in Nashville too, wasn't he?
I can't remember
Yeah,
now. I think so.
he's put on a lot of jerseys. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe a few more yet. So Pittsburgh signs him to a 1 year deal, and then he'll go and might go to Vegas next year for a 1 year deal, and then he'll go all the way up to Seattle. This guy might have another few years left in him.
No,
Yeah,
man, this guy
if
gets
he keeps
traded
playing
to
well.
this guy gets traded to Detroit and makes a cup run this year. No, I'm joking. Imagine.
Delusional.
uh, Ryan Pollock of the New York Islanders agrees to an 8-year extension with the Islanders at around 6.15 million a year. This is a kind of a weird deal because you don't notice this guy when he's out on the ice really until you really look at how much he drives at the Islanders defense, and you wonder why. I don't know. The Islanders are so good defensively, and a lot of it's due to this guy in Pellick.
Pollock and Pellick.
Yeah, Pollock and Pellick.
That's what the Islanders run on, and part of it has to do with him being on the Islanders, and the other part is that he doesn't score a lot of points. He plays well defensively, so two of those things that add up to a guy that plays well and nobody even knows exists.
Yeah,
pretty much. If this guy played in Toronto or Montreal, he'd be talked about every day.
Probably, so, yeah. He'd probably be shit on every day. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I don't see anybody saying bad things about this guy. The money's a lot just because you don't see defensive defensemen getting paid this much, but it's good to see him get paid for sure. And you know how fucking stingy Lou is over there anyway. I'm surprised he got off his wallet and gave him this kind of money.
Well, man, he must think highly of him. So, I mean, that says a lot that Lou Lamoriello gave him that big of money for being not being a good defenseman who puts up like a lot of points. So, shows how good he really is.
Yeah, you're right.
You ain't got Dubas over there handing out money.
Yeah, jeez, man, he's fucking giving it out for free. Just say, hey, you want money? Come on, put on a Leafs jersey. I'll give you 11 million. Matthias Ekholm agrees to a 4-year extension with the Preds, valued at 6.25 per year. I thought this was a decent deal. Another $6 million defenseman getting paid what he deserves. He kind of got outshined with Ellis there, but Ellis moves on to Philadelphia, and Ekholm gets paid.
Really good top 4D, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I like the years here too. You don't see a lot of 4-year deals, but I guess that is Nashville's little window.
Age.
Yeah. How old is this guy?
Now.
Yeah.
32.
Perfect deal then. 36. Yeah. He gets out of the league or maybe signs another, I don't know, league min somewhere or $2 million.
I think he's 32. He's in his 30s somewhere.
Yeah, I know. So I think he's that old too. Alex Ovechkin passes Marcel Dion for 5th place all time with 732 NHL goals. That's pretty impressive.
He's gonna get Gretzky, man. I'm calling it. He's gonna get Gretzky. And he missed his first year through a lockout. He missed COVID stuff.
And the 11-12 season too, the lockout. Or was that later? That was
30.
13.
It was 30 or 40 games, I think he missed there too.
So he's been he's lost a lot of games. He's lost 140 games or more.
So I mean, he could have been a nice bit closer if it worked out in his favor. But
I know.
It still might yet. So
best goal scorer of all time. If he hits the record or not, I mean, this guy's the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen in my life. And that's going back to the 80s. I've never seen or heard of anybody who can score like Alex Ovechkin.
Especially the way the goalies are now with the gear that they got. And
exactly. And how quick they are and how much technique they use. And like goalies will be in practice and they'll have like string attached to the goalie post and then just like looking at angles. They'll like visualize angles. It's like, all right, in order for me to stop this puck from this exact location, I need to be this far out of my crease. Like it's so technical now in net. And there's goalie coaches now. They didn't have those back then.
Yeah, and I mean Ovechkin does it in the same spot every game.
Yeah. And dude, this guy drinks fucking Pepsi on the bench, man. This guy drinks Dr. Pepper like it's his job on a bench.
He's built like a fucking
He's built like a Russian man.
He's a Russian machine, man. He's massive. He's wide, man. Holy fuck, he's wide as a fucking truck, man.
Yeah, he's like a semi.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
wanna.
One of the
I wouldn't
best
want to
all
fight him
time.
after seeing what he did to Svechnikov either.
No,
Fuck man, he pounded the
knocked
shit
his
out of
little
that
Russian
guy.
ass out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Russian versus Russian. Did you see what Evgeny Svechnikov, his brother, was saying to Ovi too? Dude, he
No,
went to like some Russian media and was like, he like bet the shit out of, um, jeez, what's Svechnikov's first name? Not Evgeny.
Andre.
Yeah, he went to the Russian
Yeah.
media and was like, "Oh, the next time I see Ovi, if he comes back to Russia, I'm gonna kick the shit out of him." Like, fuck this guy. And there's
Yeah.
like this big old beef between the
Yeah.
Svechnikovs and Ovechkins, and I found that
Yeah. Good
hilarious. He was on
luck.
Detroit too. I was crying. I was like, my fucking boy, Kenny going after the greatest.
Yeah. If Ovechkin ran into the Svechnikov brothers, he'd go like this and he'd be able to choke slam them both
Yeah, for
if he
sure,
wanted
man. He's
to.
huge. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Svechnikov's only a little small compared to him.
They're mates, man.
Yeah. Zach Bogosian, probably the best defenseman in the league, is out four to
He's up
six
there.
weeks with a lower body injury. So you hate to see that for a guy with so much
Yeah.
heart. Drafted third overall, never panned out to be offensive, but he's an all right
Useful
defenseman, man.
defenseman.
He's good. Yeah, he's a useful defenseman there on the bottom pairing.
Third pairing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
He was good
so
with the
yeah,
Leafs last year. He made some really good plays. He
I
was
thought
on a
so too. I was kind of
liability.
pissed off when they got rid of him.
Yeah, I think it was him more or less. I think he wanted to go back to the US. I think he'd rather
Oh,
play in the
okay.
US. So I think that's what it came down to. But he was not he was not making many mistakes when he was out there, and he was very reliable. So I liked him a lot as a Leaf. I wish he stayed on a cheap deal, but that's the way it goes.
Same, yeah. I'm always betting for this guy. I love Bogosian. Landeskog. I wrote these notes a little while ago, but he met with NHL player safety to go over his hit on Kirby Doc. If anybody didn't see it, Doc was in a vulnerable position on one knee, and Landeskog drove his head into the boards pretty aggressively.
Hmm. So
Uh,
yeah, he got suspended 2 games, I think.
2 games. Wow. I
So
thought he'd get more for that. That looked like a really dangerous hit.
yeah, well, I mean that's pretty much all George Peros does, give out 2 game suspensions.
Yeah.
Does he ever give out anything more besides to Tom Wilson?
Yeah. No, as soon as he's like, how do you pronounce that? I can only read fucking Tom Wilson's name. If it's not Tom Wilson, I don't care. Give him 2 games.
Two
Fuck
games.
it. Fuck
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
pretty
But yeah,
much.
really out of character for Landeskog, eh?
Yeah, I think it was just one of those split second decisions and trying to get the puck. That's what I think it was. I don't
I
think
know
it's
he's not a
intentional.
dirty player, so
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Every now and then you're in a game, you want to win, and shit happens so quick. So,
yeah,
excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
for sure. Finally, after a long summer, Brady Tkachuk signs a 7-year deal with the Ottawa Senators, bringing back Tkachuk. So he signed a deal valued at around 8.214 million per year, and it works out to a total of 57.5 million. What do you think?
I think it's a pretty good contract. I'm honestly not in love with it.
No, I don't know. Something weird about it. Like he doesn't put up superstar points, but he's getting over 8 mil a year. The term
I
is
think
nice. I think they would have liked to get an 8-year deal, but I think Brady was saying no, I only want 5. So they met kind of in the middle there. Probably just threw in some more money.
was it 5 years?
No, it's 7 years, but I'd say Brady wanted 5.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
you're
think he
right.
only wanted 5 just to kind of test the waters and say, if Ottawa's not good in 5 years, do I really want to stay here?
Hmm.
If they're not improving, but he locks up a 7. I think it's a movable contract in all 7 of those years, though, for Ottawa. And I think Brady is getting paid. I think Ottawa would have preferred to give him 8 million over 8 years, but to get him at 7 and just over 8's not bad either.
I think at a million less would have looked a lot better. I think there's a bit of name value on the back of his jersey there. I
Yeah,
think that's
I mean
drives the price up.
this is your future captain though, so
Yeah,
they were gonna pay him. I mean, try to get a guy as
regardless.
cheap as possible, but for the points he puts up, he's getting paid like Crosby right now, which is pretty crazy.
Crosby's contract like was ran forever. Like what kind of deal is he going to get? I wonder when he comes up again. Like, is he going to get a 4-year deal at 8 or 9 again?
He's just gonna get a thank you letter. Pittsburgh's gonna tear it down. They're gonna have so much cap room. They're like, you just want $87 million? Like, sure. And it'll just be Crosby and then a bunch of two-way contracts on the team.
Yeah, probably. And then Crosby will play with the next first overall pick they get, kind of like Lemieux did with Crosby, and then
for sure
move on from there.
Crosby play with Berard coming up now.
Bedard, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! What's with me and names? I can't remember
James.
a name and retain it for the life of me. Yeah, fucking James Berard there coming up in the league. Idiot. Anyway, Middlestat and Yokiharu are both out for the Sabres right now for at least 2 weeks. But as we've seen, Buffalo Sabres don't fucking need them. Buffalo Sabres
doesn't matter.
Take
doesn't
away
matter.
all the players, Buffalo still wins.
Doesn't matter. Structure, man. These guys got it down to a T. These guys are the new New York Islanders.
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot for the new coach they brought in. Like, who's the coach?
Don Granato.
Yeah, they played good at the later
part of last year. Yeah,
and I don't know. This guy's just a good coach apparently, because like that team is dog shit. That team has no business winning games.
Yeah. But they're winning. Well, they only won 2, so I don't think we should gas them up too much. Like they won the
we're getting ahead of ourselves a little.
They won 2 games. They're 2-0. So I don't think we should get ahead of ourselves. I think we should probably cool down a bit. But I mean, right now, if you go on your NHL app, shit, never mind. Well, I took a screenshot yesterday on the NHL app, and it was let me see here. Buffalo was the first place in the league. I bet you haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
but now Pittsburgh's first. So.
Oh, that sucks. Well, it's fun while it lasted. Anyway.
Yeah, they might get back up there, man. They might get 3-0 start. So.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
This is kind of sick for Dylan Cousins, so he gets that big boy spot and just go out and show people no expectations on him at all. Just go out and play. Just go out and let's see what you're made of. So we'll get a really good look at Dylan Cousins now too.
Yeah, and I watched that game versus Arizona the other day. If you follow Hockey Tank Instagram, you've seen that there was a story.
Oh, everybody follows Hockey Tank. What do we got? Like 50 followers?
Not even 32.
If you're listening to this right now and you're not following Hockey Tank on Instagram,
you're missing
out. I hope you don't have Instagram, because if you do and you're not following us, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah. God from Hesse, Germany. Follow us on Instagram. Anyways,
please. I want to have you on the show so bad.
Yeah, me too. Moral of the story. I was watching the Arizona Buffalo game, and I didn't see much of the Cousins, man. I thought he was pretty mediocre, which I thought was weird. I didn't see any plays. I thought Kyle, fuck, man, I hate his name. Okposo, man, Jesus Christ, who named him that?
Dude, that guy's been in the league forever.
I know he used to be on the Islanders with JT, but anyways, I thought he was the best player in ice for Buffalo.
He did look good. Did he have a goal and a couple assists?
He got a few points so far this year. So
yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, he's paid a nice bit of money, but maybe
who isn't on Buffalo?
Yeah, Jeff.
Is anybody on that team making under $9 million right now? I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Bryson, which I'm gonna talk about later.
Yeah,
he's probably the best stick handler in Buffalo Sabres. This guy just is a defenseman who dangles around forwards, makes him look silly. So they got some good pieces there that I don't think anybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get back to the news because we don't want to talk about Buffalo for hours straight.
No, we'll come back to Buffalo.
They're not that good.
Dylan Larkin gets hit from behind by Matthew Joseph. Larkin then turns around and sucker punches Joseph because there's no call on the play, and then a little scrum ensues. So Larkin met with player safety and got 2 games, and Matthew Joseph didn't get shit, and he got suspended for roughing, not even for fucking anything else, for roughing. It's like, did you not just see he got fucking roughed? Like he's
it's George Peros. It's George Peros. Like some guy comes in and it's like, here, George, they did something bad here. Look at this paper. What's his name? Tom Wilson? No, 2 games. Didn't even look. He probably fucked it up. It's like the buddy who brought in the paper typed it up wrong, and he actually put that Dylan Larkin hits Matthew Joseph, and fucked up the paper, and he reads it. He goes 2 games. That's how it happens. Man. He doesn't even watch the play. Just brings him in a sheet of paper.
No, I know Tom Wilson or fucking George Barrows is probably watching the video of Matthew Joseph hitting Dylan Larkin behind into the boards head first. And it's like, yeah, I made that play. That's a clean play. I made that plenty of times when I was playing. It's like, Jesus, George, you goon.
Yeah. He just got a dartboard of Tom Wilson's face in his office and just shooting at it all day. And if it's not Tom
Yeah.
Wilson, 2 games. Tom Wilson,
Yeah.
18 games, $5,000.
Two games for anyone not named Tom Wilson is pretty much the equivalent of me, Glenn. Jesus, league minimum, 750K.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's just your, first suspension. 2 games. Doesn't matter if
2
you
games.
shot someone.
Yeah. like Everlay coming in the rink with the semi-automatic.
Oh Jesus, we can't be bringing that up again. We'll be. Oh man, we'll get canceled.
Let's move on.
Charlie McAvoy signs 8-year extension with the Bruins, valued at $76 million or $9.5 million average each year.
Defensemen are getting paid, man, and honestly,
defensemen are getting fucking paid this year.
There's a big price on a defenseman. I'm kind of nervous because, as we all know, Morgan Riley needs a contract with the Leafs next year, and they don't have a lot of room considering they had to sign a goalie from the University of Toronto to back up last night.
Yeah, I see that. Bishop. So they're like, Bishop's playing in college, sign him. He gets there and he's like, hi, my name is whatever the fuck this kid's name is. And he's like, oh, we thought you were Ben. It's like, no, man.
Yeah.
Wrong Bishop. Sit on the bench anyway.
Money's a bit tight in Toronto, so I'm hoping they can get Riley to stay because, I mean, he's the longest tenured Leaf and he bleeds blue and white. So hopefully maybe we'll get him at 5 years at $8.2 million. I think that'd be a good deal.
You're going to have to pay that man. That man has been through a lot.
Yeah, he's been through a lot of emotional torture. So
what's going to happen, I think, is John Tavares gotta leave before they can really pay Morgan.
Tell him he's not leaving, man. He's there till the end now. That would just be, imagine just how bad that would look. And he's got a no move clause, like just not possible. He's a captain. Imagine what that would do to the room. You just come in 1 year and JT's gone, your captain. I honestly, man, I respect your opinion, but I can't see that until this contract's over.
Yeah, see that I was saying what's got to happen, not what I want to see happen.
Yeah,
but I think that's what's got to happen for Riley to get really paid the money he deserves. I think I don't think John Tavares is going anywhere. Anyway, that's his home. That's his city. He was raised in.
When we look at what happened with Toronto's cap situation, it was all drawn up before coronavirus and flat cap and stuff like that. So, I mean, the cap could have been raised up $4 or $5 extra million at this point because the NHL lost $1 billion of revenue last year with coronavirus or more. I'm not sure what the amount was. I've seen it before, but cap was supposed to go up $4 or $5 million. Steady going up, but now we're going at a stopping point here where they're not making enough money, so it's not going to go up. And I think that's fucked with the Leafs plans, and that's why teams who are signing contracts now, they got a better people are looking at them in a better sense than what they did to the Leafs, because when the Leafs signed their big contracts, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, I mean, these guys were signed before coronavirus, so I think that makes a difference too. So don't shit on Dubas too bad, man. Like, he didn't realize the fucking world pandemic was going to be on the go.
Yeah, I know.
So give him a break.
That was good analysis. I never really thought about the budget being drawn up for all these players before COVID, and then it just went flat. So
that's what happened, man. That's literally what happened. So
no, I believe
it sucks, but you can't stop a world pandemic.
That's
you
right.
can't. Hopefully, we can, but you can't if you're to call Dubas. We'll say.
Yeah, that's a pretty big responsibility for a GM of an NHL
stop
team.
A world pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's probably like, oh fuck, I don't get paid enough for this.
It's like on GM mode on NHL games, you get all your goals, the ownership goals, and it's like get 30 wins, be a playoff team, stop a world pandemic.
Stop a world pandemic. Find the cure.
Yeah, Rasmus
Go in the woods,
Anderson.
Indiana Jones style.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm sorry for cutting you off every 10 seconds.
I like the Indiana Jones fucking joke. Rasmus Anderson was fined $5,000 for a dangerous hit. Unfortunately, I was slack this week on making the news, so I don't have any other information except for that. So I'm kind of hoping you've seen the hit and you can see if 5,000 was enough or if it was too much.
Unfortunately, I watched all the game recaps that I never got to see live in my bedroom at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So the whatever knowledge of that hit that was in my brain has left because it was so early in the morning and I was lit in bed when I was watching it. So I cannot comment on that. I'd be lying to you if I give you an opinion because it's kind of just gone from my memory now what happened. But I did watch it, but it's just I don't have enough on it to comment on it. But I'm sure, like we said before, Sheet goes in George Peros. It's like, how bad of a hit was it really? It's like, oh geez, I don't think it should be a suspension. $5,000. It's pretty much if it's not 2 games, it's 5,000.
Yeah, he walks into George's office. George, there's been another hit. Was anybody killed? No, some guy just broke his neck. 5,000. 5,000. Nobody was killed. That's it.
Yeah.
Minimum fine.
Eating good tonight.
Yes. Unrelated injuries, but might as well get them out there because we haven't touched on them yet. Pacioretty and Capo Caco are both injured and out right now.
That sucks. I'm expecting Capo Caco to have a big year, but we haven't really seen that much yet. So that kind of sucks. I know we're only a couple of games in, but I mean, I'm hoping this guy's second overall. I hope he can get 20 goals at least, right? You want to see him get 20 goals, maybe 20, 30 assists. I mean, he's got to make a move forward before he gets too old, or else we're going to be in a weird territory where he's soon going to be a bust. He's got to make a step forward.
Yeah, I agree. I was way too bullish. I'd make such a shitty GM because when this guy was, I don't know, in the his draft year,
Liga.
I was saying like, buddy, fucking take him over Laugh. This guy's a beauty. He's playing against men. He's ready to go in the NHL. He's gonna light it up. I was saying he was better than Lafreniere, and
Lafreniere's drafted the year after. So on the same team, sure.
What?
And Lafreniere was drafted the year after.
Oh my god, who the fuck am I thinking of? Why the hell
you're thinking of Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
Jack Hughes.
Yeah. Why the hell is Omer?
Because they're on the same team. Now. Because they're in the same. You had a long weekend golf, man.
Hell you could have let me go on for 50 more minutes talking about this debate. Oh man,
Lafreniere versus Caco. Put it on Instagram now.
Jesus, yeah, man. I'm on crack or something.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Do you want to know the attendance at Ottawa versus Dallas game tonight? Here, let me get into that quickly. Let me get into that because the season started up now. I figured when we record the night of, maybe we'll talk about the games that are happening tonight. I got it here on my phone so we can have a little look. The attendance at Ottawa and Dallas game tonight was 8,000.
That's not bad. That's like that's a full mile one. Or Mary Brown Center now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. That's kind of poor.
Yeah,
because
it's
they seat like 18,000.
Yeah,
that's not even my computer charger's going off. Sorry, boys.
Sounds like a heart rate monitor.
My heart rate is good, but
we're actually doing this podcast live in the hospital room. For anyone wondering.
Yeah, so shitty for Ottawa that there was only 8,000 people in attendance tonight. So I just thought I'd bring that up. And anyways, while I talked about bringing up the game, the only game tonight, Sunday, October 17th, was Ottawa versus Dallas. And Ottawa ended up getting the win. I'm sure you probably haven't seen this yet.
No, I was just about to look because I actually got 2 Dallas players on my fantasy team. I got Klingberg and Rupe Hintz.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you if they got a point now.
Well, I know Ottawa Klingberg doesn't because he's out right now with an injury. But
Ottawa is up 1-3-2. Sorry, Michael Raffle scored the first goal. Nick Paul got the second. Chris Tierney got the third. He's got 2 goals already. And then Chris Tierney scores again. He's got 3 goals in the season already. And Joe Pavelski gets a goal. So Ottawa wins 3-2.
Rupe Hintz get a touch on that puck.
Not on the score sheet, no.
Brutal.
But let's see here. Where's Rupe Hintz? He's a -1, and he had 1 shot on net, and he had 1 hit, and he played 11 minutes. So
that's my guy.
Tough game.
Rough
Anyways,
game.
Continue with your news, sir. Sorry to bump in there.
Yeah. this is gonna sound really bad because I don't know this guy's name, but a Sharks defenseman, Knizov. Is that how you say it? Knizov? Knizov? Do you know who I'm
Ah,
talking about?
geez. I do. I know of him. Yes.
And I don't know his first name, which is really bad. I probably should have learned it, but yeah, Knizov,
Yeah, you're right,
Sneezov,
man.
I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep saying it. Knizov is out 8 to 10 weeks to have surgery. That is a long time to be out, man.
What happened to him? Is he NHL level now? I'm not sure because I knew he was drafted by them, but I don't know. Like he was a
He was
late
a
pick too,
sixth
I think.
defenseman. He's a sixth defenseman,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he's out now. I'm kind of pissed off, man. I really like this kid. Um, I feel like
I
his
don't
first name
know
starts
enough
with a
about him.
J.
I don't know if it's
See,
Artem or Nikolai. Is it Artem or Nikolai? Or am I completely off the wrong on the wrong page here?
but I'm gonna have to check. 'Cause you know what? I'm doing this man a disservice by not knowing his name.
Yeah. You check about that and bring up the other topic while you're.
Oh man, Nikolai Nijov. Yeah, it is
I
Nikolai.
was right. I was
Yeah, you
right.
were.
Let's
Good job,
go.
man.
Thanks,
You're
man.
you're carrying this podcast, man. I'm
No.
doing shit.
No.
So this last piece of news I got, and it's kind of a weird one. So in a press conference, Philip Zadina was talking about it, the hit he took from Garland. Garland did a reverse hit. Garland had possession of the puck, stopped and hit Philip when he was chasing him into the corner and kind of got him up high. And Zadina went down and, he was knocked out, or not knocked out, but like kind of cloudy up
Dazed.
there. Yeah, exactly, dazed. And then in a press conference after, Philip Zadina randomly called him a midget. He was
I
like,
seen that. I seen that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
he was like, yeah, and I was chasing the puck, and he thought he can turn around and hit me like I'm the midget he is, instead of fighting in the corners like a man or something. It's like, man, what the hell?
Yeah, Zadina probably doesn't. I don't. Hopefully, there's not this cult of midget people who's gonna hate him now. But
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of a bad term to be saying. And
yeah,
this
it doesn't
year,
sound good either, especially in this day and age.
not really. But
I don't really know
you
how
know,
else to refer to Garland. Like, not that I call
besides
him
a
a midget,
midget.
but like, I don't know why that would come out of his mouth, man. Or like,
I don't.
I don't know what he was trying
Oh
to.
shit! Heart rate monitor's going off
Someone,
again.
at least she's not dead. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
weird piece of news there because I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. I was listening to the press conference. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's no room in the game for a negative midget talk. That's for sure.
that's right. I love midgets. Do you have any? Do you have any other news you'd like
I
to
do.
discuss?
I
All
do.
right,
I got a
let's hear
few
it, man.
things here. I got
So,
Jalen Smerrick, who was subject of a racist act. He signed in the DEL, so he gets out of the UHL in
that's
or
good, man.
fucking Ukraine or somewhere. So he gets playing a new league and he gets another opportunity. So, he definitely deserves to play in a place where he's not attacked because of the color of his skin. So
Yeah,
that's good to see.
yeah, for sure. Love to see
And
that. Uh, did we have any updates about the guy who made the gesture?
no, because I don't really think they give a fuck about that stuff in Russia, and it's kind of shocking because I don't
Yeah,
know. It's tough. I don't think Russia cares about what anybody else says, and it's kind of wrong. I don't think there's a place for that. And the fact that he could pay off his, we talked about it a few podcasts ago. The fact he could pay off his suspension is a fucking joke, and
yeah, it's fucked.
they got to fix that league. So,
I mean,
anyways,
I don't know. It's definitely you're not as free over there, I don't think, as like everybody's got their right to an opinion,
hmm,
but over here. But I
yeah,
don't know. I'm kind of speaking out of my ass now, but yeah, it's kind of like we don't have that, or they don't have that kind of everyone's equal like kind of thing over there, which
yeah,
sucks. And like you don't want to be playing hockey. Imagine like I don't know, trying to play the game you love and just having that, man.
yeah, it's
Fucking
tough,
brutal.
but it's good that he signed in the DL, and that's a DL is a professional, it's a well like known league, and I mean it's like a good players play there, so he might get a chance to make a little name for himself in pro hockey there.
Yeah, I hope so.
So that's cool. Toronto Maple Leafs forward Austin Matthews is going to make his debut against New York Rangers tomorrow night, I think. So, probably the Rocket Richard winner. I mean, again, he's probably going to get 50. Well, I mean, don't lie.
If he can catch Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I mean, he'll catch Tyler Bertuzzi in a game probably. Don't lie to yourself. I mean, this guy scores 4 goals every game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he's good at first impressions.
Yeah, there's a little bit of news there. And do I have anything else here? I don't think I do anything of any substance. So I think we can move on. Hold up, Vegas Golden Knights forward Max Pacioretty will miss 6 weeks with an injury. So that's the last of their top 6 there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not going to help Vegas out at all. Because I mean, people forget about how good of a goal scorer Max Pacioretty is.
Yeah, so. He got like I think 2 or 3 goals in the first week now. He's got a couple for sure because I'm playing against a guy in fantasy that I just keep bringing up a fantasy team for I guess no reason. Yeah, he put up like a shit ton of points against me. I was kind of pissed off. But yeah, Mark Stone was also out, and the way people were talking about it is like Mark was taking a shot or something, then just locked up or something like that. Like he just got right tight and he had to leave the game, and everybody was calling him saying that he had a kidney stone and shit like that, and I was finding that funny. And then people were like, he had to leave because his hog is so big that it, like, I don't know, fucking weighted him down or fell out of his pants or something. So a little bit of 50-50 of saying Mark Stone had a kidney stone or just a huge dick. So that's so you gotta love hockey Instagram, man.
Yeah, definitely. That's all the news for me, man. So I think
me too. All right, folks. We'll take a little break now, and we'll see you at the NHL Nifty of the Week. Hello, folks. Time for Newfie of the Week with our good buddy Caleb Smith. How you doing, Caleb?
Awesome, man. Glad to be back. I was looking forward all week actually to doing this one. For some reason, I don't know what it is about this guy, but when you see his picture, man, and I'm going to send you, you're going to realize that he's a beauty.
Awesome, man. Happy to have you back. I always get fired up for the segment now. I grown a liking to it. I don't think we need an explanation. All of our loyal listeners already know this part.
Hockey historian, Newfie of the Week.
Yeah. All right, Caleb, take it away. You got the floor.
All right, this week we're going to highlight the first Labradorian to ever step foot on NHL ice, Daryl Williams from Labrador City. He played extensively in the minors, but his career was highlighted by 2 games played for the Los Angeles Kings. He had a very long coaching stint, which he's still coaching to this day. I'll get into that later. But first I'll get into his playing career. Daryl started in 87-88 with the Belleville Bulls. He had he didn't start in 87-88. But this was just one season that I highlighted. He 63 games, put up 68 points, and had 169 penalty minutes. So that was oh man, he was like tearing up juniors.
I wouldn't want to play against. Imagine.
You guys want to know something?
Rocking him in. Well,
I played beer league with this guy at St. Bon's.
No way.
Honest to fucking God. He was on that game that year. He played 2 games with the Kings. That's when Gretzky was on the team.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he was talking about being in the dressing room with Gretzky at the beer league skate. So I thought that's really cool. You picked that guy because I've actually met him. He probably doesn't remember me. So if he's watching this, he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Because I only met him once, like 2 years ago. But he seemed like a decent fella, you know. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So keep going, sir.
How old was he? Was he still flying around?
I mean, he was doing good, man. Like he made some good passes. He wasn't really flying around. He was just smart with the puck, right? Like just made a few nice passes and stayed back on it. But yeah,
he's not going all out.
No, he didn't really care. He's just doing it for a little bit of exercise. Exactly. So, anyways, continue, Caleb. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was a cool fact I should share.
All right, man. Thanks for sharing. After his stint in juniors, he played 11 seasons between the AHL and IHL, which was obviously highlighted by his call-up in the 92-93 season by the Los Angeles Kings. And in that 92-93 season, he played mostly in the IHL. He played 61 games and totaled 314 penalty minutes. So this was probably the reason they brought him up, man, because he was just, I don't know, maybe had a couple scraps in the show. Should have took note of his penalty minutes in those 2 games that he played.
Yeah, might have racked up a few.
Yeah,
bro.
He retired from pro hockey in 98, 99. And then right in 99, 2000, he picked up his coaching job right off the bat. He started as an assistant coach. I'll just list the leagues that he coached in. This is between head coach and assistant coach. The IHL, WCHL, AHL, and UHL, which are all minor professional hockey leagues. And he was also the assistant coach of the St. John's Fog Devils of the QMJHL. In 2010, 2011, he became the assistant coach of the Vancouver Canucks. So the Canucks went to the Cup and made it to Game 7. He was on the bench behind them, man. So he was 1 game away from having his name on the Cup.
Wasn't he like I feel like he's good buddies with Alain Vigneault, and he was like the assistant coach for him for a while after that too. I might be wrong. But
you're right, man. He was the assistant coach for Vancouver until the next season, and season after that, he was the video coach for Vancouver. So he just stepped down a position. But then in 14-15, he got an assistant coach job back with the New York Rangers. So that was where he was with Alain Vigneault, right?
Yes, yeah.
And he coached there until 17-18, and then he coached 2 years with the Newfoundland Growlers. So he's been there ever since until recently in the off season. He signed a contract with the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's currently the assistant coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Where Alain Vigneault is. They must be like best buds.
Oh man, yeah. These guys have been everywhere together.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's sick, man. This guy's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a vet too. 11 seasons in the IHL, and then just fucking 300 penalty minutes. This guy's tough as nails.
He is.
That's where you get them too. You get the tough guys out of Labrador. They kick some serious ass.
Yeah, I always find that the minor league guys become the coaches too. Like, I see that a lot. You don't see many star NHL players coming to be a coach. It's more the minor guys who had to really fight for a career. So I noticed that too.
They know the game better. They see it. I mean, they got to play it a different way, but because they don't have the skills that the stars have, so they got to adapt to it differently. So they can. I guess that's how they get their coaching skills.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of stars.
I was gonna say, it's because they're watching the game from the same
watching the stars
from
the bench.
The coach, anyway, but he gets all the tips there. And they're sitting on the bench.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say that it might be because the star players have skill, and you can't teach that. But for guys who work their way up with the commitment of the game, it's a different way of, playing the game. So you know how to coach it that way. But skilled players just had the skill, so it's hard to. You can't. It's like Gretzky with Arizona. Like Gretzky couldn't tell the boys in Arizona to go out and dangle and go top shelf like he could. It's just different, right? So that's what I think it is.
No, for sure, and that's always what I've heard from Gretz. Like, it was just telling people to do things that were impossible for them, or they just couldn't think of that quick. And Gretz is like, "Why didn't you do this?" It's like, Jesus Christ, man! I'm not the fucking greatest hockey player in the world. I can't think of that. So, yeah, for sure. This guy's a beauty, though, coaching. In the NHL.
I mean, it's a pretty long coaching career too. I mean, from 2010 till now, and he's done a bit of everything. So definitely.
And I mean,
to
get that close to the cup too, that hurts, man.
Yeah. 1 game away. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. Who knows? Philly might get it this year. I doubt
it. Your hot take was Carter Hart's not going to have a bounce back season.
And he played the first game and he never did very good. So I'm looking pretty smart. I also said the Leafs are going to win the cup, so I don't believe everything. Is that it on our good old buddy Daryl? You got any more interesting facts wrote down?
That's about it. I mean, unless you know something about him because you've actually played with the guy. So
I want to hear more about this beer league hockey with Daryl too. Was he?
I just went down for a skate, man. I know a guy in town who used to get me into a bunch of different skates and Saturday nights, Sunday nights, and it wasn't like an organized group where everybody were the same week. It was everybody. It was kind of like whoever's around come down, and he would always get some guys on the go. So that's where I played with Terry Ryan as well. And
At
one of
St.
those
Bond?
skates, yeah,
Or was that nice? I
St.
know he
Bon's.
plays twin rinks all the time too.
Yeah, so I played with him there, and this is where I met this Daryl guy, and I didn't know it for a little while, and I was actually on the same team as him, so it was kind of cool. And I believe one of the guys, I think it was a goalie who was playing for us, he's like, you know what that is, man? He played with the Kings, man. He played with Gretzky, and I was like, what? So I went home. I ended up having a conversation with him. I went home and looked him up on Hockey DB or whatever, and I found out, and it was pretty cool. So as soon as you brought up a defenseman who played for the LA Kings, I instantly knew that it was probably this guy. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. You said he retired in '98, right?
His last pro season was 98, 99. So yeah, he retired the same year Gretzky did.
I thought Gretzky retired in '99.
Well, the 98, 99 season, right?
I guess, yeah, at the end of '99 season. Yeah.
In the
Fair
spring of 99.
Truth has,
Yeah.
I heard a rumor once. That's why Gretz hung up the skates. It's because he wasn't going to be playing with Daryl Williams anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck this, man.
yeah. Two All-Stars cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
Once you go Daryl Williams, you don't go back. That kind of
No, that's
scrap hockey.
true. Oh well. Thanks for the newfie, man.
Yeah,
man.
Fun as
thanks for coming
always.
on, Kale, man. We appreciate that.
Always a pleasure.
See you next week,
Awesome.
buddy.
See you next week,
See you,
man.
boys.
Welcome back, folks. Thanks for hanging in with us. So now for the most controversial part of the show, me and Steve are going to go over our power rankings for the start of the 2021-2022 NHL regular season. These power rankings are just for the regular season, which teams we think right now will be first place and 32nd place. So without further ado, let's get into it. Steve, who do you got at 32?
Got the Arizona Coyotes, unfortunately.
I couldn't agree more, man. Bums of the league this year, man. They're fucking garbage.
Yeah. Well,
Arizona at 32.
when I did it at my power rankings, I made a list here. Excuse me, fuck man, I'm choking to death or something. I just put in like a sentence or what came to my mind when I thought about that team. So I wrote down here off the spot when I did my list. I said, always in a rebuild, management's always being changed, a few young players, but no franchise pieces. So basically what I'm getting at is it seems like the Coyotes are always, it's like the fucking dude running on the treadmill, man. You're just running in one spot, man. You're not going nowhere. The management's always being changed, man. They're always shaking stuff up. There's no like consistent force. They're making moves and pushing the team in a certain direction, and they got some good prospects, but I don't see anybody who's a big enough piece to change the direction of the franchise. And I think that's why they're looking at Bedard and Wright, and they're licking their fucking lips now because they're like, we got to be shit because we need these guys to be somewhat successful in the future. So that's why I have them 32, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. And I couldn't agree more, just like always in one place. And it doesn't look great for the future because they got pieces in there that are in win now mode, like Phil Kessel. But they're also selling off everybody to support them for picks. And I mean, you got to, because John Chayka ruined the future of that team by doing bad practices to scout players. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't had 2 first-round picks in the last 2 years.
It's tough. They got the one from Vancouver this year. And drafted Dylan Ginther because they traded away OEL and Garland. So I mean, I don't know. And I think Gunther, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
I call him Ginther.
I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player, but I don't see him as being a franchise piece. It's going to turn the organization around. And that's what they need. So they're definitely licking their lips at the thought of getting Wright or Bedard or even Mitch Cover, however the fuck his name. I don't know how to say anybody's name. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I just call him Miro at this point because he's got a long ass Russian name, man, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm too ignorant to learn it.
Who's 32 for you?
Arizona, man. I told you, Arizona is the bottom feeders of the league this year. And, you know, I was having hope for them because a lot of people online were saying, I don't have Arizona last because how could you put anybody behind Buffalo? But then I watched the Columbus game and they dropped an 8-2 L, and it's like, holy shit, man! It's
Yeah.
Columbus. You can't let them score 8 goals on you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's their goaltending, man. They don't
They don't have it.
trade
Carter
away
Hutton.
Kemper and Antiranta.
Carter Hutton's their guy.
Yeah, I mean that's brutal.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Like that was Buffalo's backup goalie, and now he's playing starter in Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, so you can't really put Buffalo at 32nd this year, can you?
Yeah,
Knowing that.
but I can put him at 31. Do you agree?
I don't.
Okay, shit. I got Buffalo at 31. I think they're gonna take a step in the right direction, but still, they don't have Eichel. They don't have that star center. So I don't think they'll go very far. And their goaltending too, right? Buffalo's goaltending is horrible. Who's your 31?
San Jose.
San Jose, great pick. I got them a bit higher on my list, but they're definitely sellers this year.
I with my notes for San Jose, I wrote down they're denying the rebuild. It's time to acknowledge it and fix this team from the ground up. Take notes from Ottawa or Anaheim. Do it the right way.
Yep. All those Western teams, Anaheim, San Jose, and Los Angeles should all be in rebuild mode, but San Jose is the only one that's kind of holding on.
They're just grabbing onto it, but they got one pinky left. That's all they got left. They're
That's
just like
it,
grabbing onto the bar, like. But I mean, they're not going to win with the team in this state. They got a lot of big contracts. They're not getting a lot of high draft picks. They got William Eklund and Ozzy was bad last few years. Good players, but they just need to tear it down to start, I think, because I don't think they're going to get to the cup with the group they got. So that's why I have them at 31st. I don't think they're going to compete at all. And I wouldn't be surprised to see one of the main pieces like Carlson or Couture get injured again, because that seems to happen with them.
Yeah, it seems they got a good team on paper, which is burnt. They got like 2 great defensemen there, 2 great offensive defensemen, but just no defensive defense. Maybe Vlasic, and then Couture and Hurdle. That's a above average 1-2 punch down the middle. They should.
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
They just don't click on. They just don't click. So
I think that might be coaching too. I don't know if they got an amazing coach there. No, I don't.
I think it's
that
yeah,
coach, but I don't know.
I think it's management too, because they've been really holding on to this. We're still a playoff team mentality, and they haven't been a great team for the last like 3 years.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. Take notes, like I said, from Ottawa and Anaheim. They realized.
And that was a great point you made. Yeah.
And look where they're headed now, man. Drysdale, Zegras, McTavish, fucking Jones, Comtois, and then you got Ottawa. They got Sanderson, Stutzel, Kachuk, Shabbat,
Norris,
Batherson, Pinto, Norris.
Ottawa's going to be dangerous, man, in a couple of years.
Yeah, so take note.
They're going to be scary. All right. Yep. Buffalo for me and San Jose for you. Who do you have at 30? And don't say Detroit.
Sabres.
Okay. Yeah. I forgot they were still on the board. If you had Buffalo above Detroit, I would have left right now. I would have quit. Okay.
I wrote down here, I think they need to clean up the Eichel situation. Some really good young pieces. Again, this rebuild has been taken over by new management. And it unfortunately needs another 2 or so years before we can give it a good review, I think. But I think their structure is good. So I think they got a good coach, and I think they play well, and they play the right way. But I just think they need time. And it seems like Buffalo's always needing time, but I think they need more time.
Yeah. So I mean, if Buffalo can't come out of the last like 7 or 8 years where they really had it rough, like since like 2011 or 2012 was maybe the last year they're even remotely good. If they can't bounce back like in the next, 2 years, because that would be 10 years then, or even less, like next year, then that's really not looking good. And they might have to start a new rebuild, and they might just have to sell off everything they got and just come up with the players they got. But I think what really killed them was that time they just fired like 25 people in front office at the same time. And that really kills the culture. Thing. It is, yeah.
Such a Buffalo thing to do.
They're like, oh, our players aren't playing well. We'll fire everyone in our front office right now.
And then they hired some people back because I accidentally fired them. Did you hear about that?
Did they? No.
Yeah,
What,
they were they hired some people back because they were like, "Fuck, we didn't mean to fire you, so come back."
Holy shit. I wouldn't
They
come
must have had a
back. I'd
group
be like,
chat.
are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, imagine just sent out a mass email, just like, who's in this
You're
email
fucking
list?
gone. You're
Oh
gone. You're
yeah, I
gone.
don't
You're
like any of
gone.
those people. Get rid of them. And then they like woke up from like a 3-day bender and was like, did I get so drunk I just fired my entire management? Holy shit. And then started adding them back.
Yeah, pretty much. So who's at 30 for you?
I got Anaheim here.
Oh yeah.
And, not an off the board pick by any means. I think Anaheim's going to be good, and I think they're going to be fun to watch. But I don't think they got it this year to go anywhere past 30th in the league. They got good pieces like Zegers and Drysdale, but I don't know. You can't rely on those young guns to get it done for you this year.
Not yet, man. They need time.
They got a good team on paper too. They got John Gibson in net. They got Cam Fowler, Hampus Lindholm. They got
Josh
like
Manson.
yeah, and they got even pieces like Raquel and Silverberg. They got a lot of good pieces there that can score, but like San Jose, it just doesn't work.
Just doesn't work, man. You just need to get some real skill involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a good
think
pick.
they got. I think these young legs coming up are going to be a good, fun little team, though.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Anaheim, I think.
Yeah. Who do you got at
Their
29?
power play is really good. I got Nashville
Really?
29 out of 32.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I do. I think
That is sick.
they
What's
have too many.
your notes on them?
Yeah. Too many bad contracts to stay competitive. A lot like the San Jose situation I wrote down. This team isn't just good enough to be anything better than mediocre.
Yeah, no, they don't have any star power really, except for
They
Roman
don't have.
Josi. They got Saros coming in for his first full year as a starter. They got a lot of contracts like Duchesne and Johansson that just aren't doing what they're supposed to do for that money, man. They're getting paid like superstars to play like third liners. And you
Just
can't have
total
that.
mediocrity.
Yeah, and they got rid of Arvidsson too.
Yeah, he's in
they
LA.
thinking, man?
So I don't think they have enough firepower or enough skill, enough grit. I don't think they have enough of anything to be. I think they're out of the playoffs this year. I think they start to regress. That's my guess. Anyways,
yeah, well, I got them out of the playoffs too.
Who do you have at 29?
I got my Red Wings, man. I think my Red Wings are coming in at 29th this year. They just don't have it. They got the pieces. They're coming up like Lucas Raymond, Seider are going to get a lot of looks this year and really turn into good players, I think. But I don't know. They just don't have scoring. Jakub Vrana's out now for 4 months. He's going to come back. Mantha's gone for Vrana. There's just a lot of people. I mean, players here that are good individual players, but they just got to learn how to lose until they learn how to win. I think
Takes a while, man.
In 5 years, they'll be a really good, strong playoff team.
Yeah, maybe even 4.
4 would be ideal, but I got my expectations low right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Trust the Yser plan. Who do you got at 29?
Yes, sir. 28.
We're at 29. Oh yeah, you went first, man. I'm on crack. Sorry, boys. Anybody listening, this is not my best show.
I'm just keeping pace, man. That's all.
Yeah.
I got.
Who do you got at 28?
I got the Wings.
Let's go back to back.
Let's
talk more about the Wings. I love this.
I wrote down some good young pieces, but they need time before they're competitive. So that's why they fall back. With regards to the team now, they play hard, but they don't have enough skill on the current roster to push any other teams out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Pretty much what you said.
It's a new change too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you need to have time when you get so many young players, and you can't expect to be good right away.
Yeah, exactly. Takes time.
Well, yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, exactly, man. Who do you have at 28?
28. I got San Jose. I got higher expectations for this team than you do. I think they play well. I think Eklund will come in and generate a lot more offense than what they had last year. They're just missing a lot of depth. They don't have any depth. They're paying their top 6 forwards and their top 2 defensemen cash. And then they got no money left to throw it around at the depth for either side, and their goaltending is horrendous. They have James Reimer and Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
So Aiden Hill's going to be good. He'll get you 25 wins, but still, for how much he's going to be playing, that's if he plays like 60 games. So I don't know.
I don't know. They're just not built to win now, like I said earlier. They're just mediocre,
Yeah,
pretty
they are.
much.
Like even if they do get in the playoffs, they're getting bounced in the first round. There's not a chance unless like Eric Carlson comes back to his 2014 season and
Yeah.
Burns, I don't know,
San
locks it
Jose,
down.
San
But,
Jose went to shit when Pavelski left. That's literally when
yeah.
everything started going wrong.
Pretty much, yeah. And then Joe Thornton wasn't long until he was like, I don't want to play at this either.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is Marlowe playing this year?
He hasn't signed yet. He might be one of those guys that signs. I ran the trade deadline to a contender as a depth
Yeah,
piece,
you're right.
but
Yeah.
I can't see him going back to San Jose because I don't know. I don't think they really want him, to be honest with you. It kind of sucks,
No.
but
No, they're going in another direction.
Yeah.
That era's done. The Joe Thornton, Brent Burns, and Patty Marlowe.
And they got
That's,
close. They got close to the cup.
They did, yeah. For a
Finals
couple of
versus
years there,
Pittsburgh.
they were a really strong team. They were putting
Yeah.
up like 100-point seasons.
It sucks for them. So, anyways, they got to make a transition, get some young players into the lineup. So that's just
Yeah.
the way the game works.
For sure. Not everybody can win. Who's your 27?
I got the Blue Jackets 27.
I got Blue Jackets too. All right. We hit on one. We
Yeah.
hit on one. Let's go.
We hit on two, actually. We got Arizona last.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I don't
and
count that
Columbus.
one. That one's too easy to pick.
Yeah. I wrote down this team done a quick retool, which they seem to do every 3 to 4 years because nobody wants to stay here long term. They have to find a way to produce skill guys from within and keep them. Other than that, they're competitive, but I don't think they're strong enough to make the playoffs in the end.
Yeah.
So-
Columbus is just like, I don't know, a breeding ground. It's kind of like you go there, you play sick, you get your money and you leave. And like
Yeah.
they've done that with like 4 or 5 players now, and they can't hold on to any superstars. And
Unfortunately, not.
They bring in all these pieces like Duchesne and Panarin and everyone like that, pay them and then just trade them, or they leave. And then they're bringing in these guys, but at the same time, there's friggin' trading away Seth Jones. So they can't.
They just can't. They don't want to stay there, man. I don't know what it is. I'd be fortunate enough if I got drafted or played in the Columbus organization. I can't see myself wanting to leave. It seems like I said, a nice spot, but I think you disagree because Ohio's a shithole, according to you. The shithole of the country.
Yeah, armpit.
You'd be the guy to leave. You'd be the guy to leave and get $9 million over 8 years.
Yeah,
So you'd be.
they got to bring in more players like Jack Roslovic. That guy actually wants to be there. He loves playing in Columbus, and he's going to
Yeah.
get the reps this year that he deserves too. I
He's
think
the first of his kind. Love playing in Columbus.
he's the only player in history that wanted to play in Columbus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Who do you got at 26?
At the Los Angeles Kings.
Nice pick. I have the Ottawa Senators.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Why would you say LA?
I wrote down the team with the best prospect system, in my opinion.
Me too.
I think
They're
overall,
loaded. They're
they
loaded.
have so many. And I said a mix of young and old players right now. Another couple of years, and I see this team making the playoffs and being competitive again. But I just don't think they're at that point. I think they need a couple of years of, and it sucks because Kopitar is going to get older, Taylor's going to get older. So you got that part of the team there. So it's like a weird half and half situation. So I got them making the playoffs in a couple of years, but at the same time, they might lose those players. So it'll push them further back. So I don't know. I just don't see them being competitive enough right now to be in the playoffs, unfortunately.
Yeah. I love their system too. They got a really great mix of older and younger players, like Dustin Brown and Anze Kopitar, to take these young players and mentor them for a couple of years, and people like Drew Doughty on the back end there. He can bring up the young defensemen. I really like how this team is built, and just like my pick, Ottawa, like Detroit, Ottawa, and Los Angeles, I think are like give them 5 years, and these are going to be strong teams. I think
Definitely, yeah.
So Ottawa Senators pretty much for the same reason you just gave. Or for Detroit anyway, they're just young right now, and give them a few years and they'll get better. But I don't think it's a management problem in Ottawa either. It's just like young players, same as
Yeah.
Detroit.
Takes a while.
And they're in a tough division, man. Like, how can you expect these teams to get a lot of wins when you're playing people
Atlantic
like Tampa
division.
and Boston and Toronto and Florida? Like, holy
You're
Christ.
just not gonna do it, man.
Yeah, you gotta
Wait
until
for them to get
Western
bad.
swings. Yeah. Yep. Good call. Who's at 25?
I got the Ducks.
Oh, high expectations for the Ducks. I like that.
Mhm.
I was
think
wondering
they're
when they
good.
were gonna come up.
Yeah. Who do you
Yeah,
got?
I got Los Angeles, so two California
yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got big expectations for high expectations for LA this year. I think LA this year, like as bad as they are, or as young as they are, sorry, because they're not bad. They still got guys like Kopitar and Doughty leading the charge. And Cal Peterson. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of numbers he puts up too.
Yeah. As of October 17th, Kopitar is leading the league in points. So
Hell yeah, he is. What did he
Yeah.
get the other night? He got 3 goals and two assists.
I think he's got 7 points in like 3 games.
Holy shit. That's
Something like
unreal.
that. Yeah.
I think
So
Stamkos got a lot of goals too, though, doesn't he? Or a lot of points.
yeah, I think Stamkos is second actually
Nice.
right now. So yeah.
You love to see those vets, eh? Instead of these young
Yeah.
players thinking they're everything
Yeah.
coming up in the league. Friggin',
Yeah.
killing
Stamkos will
everyone.
just go snipe a couple on you and make you look foolish.
Yeah. He
Love to
took
see
a couple years off with injuries. Now he's gonna put up probably 20 goals and then get injured again and say, fuck it. I'll be back in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Back in a couple of years.
Yeah.
For cup run.
All right.
I had Anaheim at 25th. I wrote down underrated rebuild. Not a large abundance of young talent like Ottawa, but I think the talent level is better quality than a team like Ottawa. They don't have as many players, but I think the quality of players they have is better.
I'd agree with you.
I put Anaheim is going in a good direction. I think they'll be in the playoffs in 3 or so years. And I said, plus Mason McTavish is a natural born grinder, an amazing player, and I think he was drafted in the perfect spot for where he went, which was third last year. I think he's going to be
anywhere past
charge.
anywhere past 5, we'd be talking about him as a steal. So
Oh yeah, I think I've seen some highlights. He looks like he's 25 years old, man. He looks like
he plays like an NHL player. He doesn't play like an 18-year-old at all.
I think he's a captain in the future. I do. He's
Yeah.
a captain player
Yeah,
more than
you know what?
Zegras. Zegras is a little bit flashier and
I
whatever.
agree. You're gonna get a nice little Kane and Tays kind of duo between those two. Mason is gonna be your defensive player that can also dish out points and be your captain, and Zegras is gonna be the flashy winger. So I'd agree
Yeah,
with you
I
there
think
for
that's right.
sure.
Yep. So
Drysdale is the key of the team.
yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's got all the potential to be a player who lives up to that.
Yep.
Even though Keith is a hard player to live up to, but I think he's got
I
that
know
potential.
it's crazy. But no, he's gonna be more flashy. He's gonna be, Cale Makar type defenseman instead of a
Walmart Cale Makar. Anyway.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Anaheim too. The reason I was regretting putting them so low when I was making my list is they got John Gibson. They got probably the best American goalie in the game right now.
Yeah, him and Hellebuck.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
Mhm.
So Anaheim could surprise if they get. I think they're not lacking offense this year. I think it's defense. And I was just boasting about their defense, but after their first and a half line, like you don't have a lot of depth there.
I just don't think they're as good as the other teams ahead of them when it comes down to it. I think they get a good look. I think NHL teams are that good these days that it's so
There's no
hard to
bad
be
teams in the
better.
league except for
Arizona
and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have at 24?
I got the Dallas Stars.
Dropping that far. Wow.
Yeah.
I have the Montreal Canadiens. So two players that lost to Tampa, or two teams that lost to Tampa in the Cup Finals.
Similar runs.
Yeah.
I think they're similar teams in the sense that they were overachieving. And I don't think they can do it again. I think it's just one of those runs. You go to the finals and you're never going to be back there, unfortunately. I wrote down they're in a weird spot. They made the finals a couple years back, but I haven't added too much offensively. Very solid defense score, but I think the offense is lacking a true superstar. I don't see Ben Sagan or Radulov as players that have that superstar quality for over 82 game schedule anymore.
Yeah, they
I
get
just don't
injured a
think they're
lot.
going to be. I just don't think they're going to be like 80 point scores, 90 point scores anymore.
No,
I
not
just don't
anymore.
see it, man. I mean, Sagan's younger than Ben and Radulov, but I mean, there's not much around him. I mean, Hintz is good. He's coming up. And
Jason
Robertson's a
Robertson
good young player.
almost won the Calder.
Yeah. But I don't know. Something about them. There's a lot of other options, I think, in the league to be better teams than the Dallas Stars right now. Who do you have at 24?
I had the Montreal Canadiens. I think they take a massive step back this year. I don't think they have it. I think Cole Caulfield and Suzuki, build chemistry for the future. I think, they look good on paper, but I don't think they play well. It's always the same at the beginning of the season for Montreal. They always do this. They look like they have a good team, and then they I don't know, fall flat at the start of the season. So for right now, I have them at 24.
I think that's fair. Unfortunately, the 0-3 start.
Yeah,
and
they're missing Shea Weber, they're missing Price. Jake Allen's your starting goalie.
I had Jake Allen. I had Jake Allen as one of my overrated players.
Exactly. You gave us the stat breakdown of Jake Allen's game when he's relied on, or even when he's not, even when he's backup role.
And it's 0-3, man. So
he's a proven not a good starter. He wasn't a good starter in St. Louis.
You don't want him starting.
No, exactly. So didn't
that's proving me right currently.
Yeah.
Samuel.
That's where they're currently ranked right now.
No, I said it's proved me right that Jake Allen should be relied upon as starter.
Yeah. No, hopefully Primo can make a jump.
Yeah, he's got talent. Yeah, that's his name.
For sure. Yeah. Who do you have at 23?
I've got the Ottawa Senators.
Nice, high expectations 23. For the Sens. They just got their Tkachuk back too.
Yeah. Who do you have?
I have another Canadian team going back to back. I got the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh yeah, wow. Well, the reason I chose Ottawa here is because I think they're the hardest working team in the league.
They are. They work their tail off every night.
I think they might not have. I wrote down they might not have as much talent as you, but they have more drive to be successful than you. I think they're a year away from the playoffs. Very good prospects all around. I think they're a year away from the playoffs, man.
Jeez, I wouldn't say that.
In the Atlantic, I think they're wild card.
I don't. Atlantic's too strong. That's why I said in 5 years for Detroit and Ottawa.
Yeah,
that is a tough division.
I got high expectations, man. These guys are playing tough, man. Like you got Nick Paul, Connor Brown, guys who play tough and hard to play against. I think if they had a couple more pieces on defense, and
they don't need them, man. They got a load of guys coming up in their system.
I don't know, man. That's just something about this team. Maybe it's because I watch them when they play the Leafs and they want to win against the Leafs more than anybody else, but they work so hard. So
yeah, they do.
I have high hopes for this team, man. I could see them being higher than Montreal and anybody else in the Atlantic. I see them probably getting 5th in the Atlantic this year, something like that.
Ooh, nice. I don't mind that little hot take. I just don't see it. I don't think they have the goaltending to do it. I don't think they have the depth to do it.
That's fair.
Their first and second line look like second and third lines in other teams. So Shabbat is a good anchor on the back, and Brady Tkachuk will do Brady Tkachuk things. He'll fight you. He'll score against you. He'll rough you up in the corners.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to put another case of beer on the Ottawa Senators making playoffs next year. I'm pretty sure we have to get one case of beer. I'm gonna owe you a lot of beer.
Yeah, I'll start piling it in the background.
Yeah. Now you tell me about Team 23 for you now.
So the Vancouver Canucks, although they did add pieces like re-signing Elias Pettersson and Hughes, bringing in OEL from Arizona, bolstering their depth with players like Garland. I don't know. They don't seem to play great hockey when they're on ice. They're terrible at defense. I was hoping OEL was going to help that, but I mean, he's, I don't know, not the offensive player he was in Arizona when he was relied on to be that offensive guy. So I think he's a bit overrated. I think Quinn Hughes is the offensive defenseman there. OEL is going to play a more defensive game or be relied on, and his defensive flaws are going to come through. Um, I don't know. I don't think they have great goaltending. They had Demko and DiPietro.
Demko and Halak.
Halak, yeah. I don't know. Their offense, I mean, their goaltending, I don't know, is worse than a lot of teams I have ahead of them too. So
Yeah, that's a
I don't
fair.
know.
That's a fair
Hopefully,
pick, man.
I'd like to see a lot more Canadian teams in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to keep my integrity as a professional hockey podcaster if I put them any higher.
Yeah, well, I think that's a fair choice because it could go either way with that team. I have
Yeah,
them a
they
bit higher
are
on my
such.
list, but I
Yeah,
respect your opinion. I see why you said that.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think they could go either way. This team is so hard to figure out. It was either you got them pegged to make the playoffs, or you got them to lose by a nice bit. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see them get into the playoffs, and hopefully in next month's power rankings they'll be higher on this list.
I hope
All
so.
right, yeah, for sure. Who do you have at 22?
I got the Devils.
You got the Devils. Nice. I like that. I got Nashville.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you think a little bit better about Nashville than me. I had them at 29th.
Yeah. Yeah, New Jersey though. They got a nice team. I think they're
Yeah.
going to be half decent this
Yeah,
year, or a
me
lot better
too.
than they were last year.
Yeah, I wrote down they got a good mix of talent all throughout the lineup. They got lots of players with NHL skill level. And I think they're too inexperienced to make a deep playoff run, but in a couple of years, they could be a dangerous team to play against. And if they catch fire in the playoffs, they could make a push to the conference finals maybe in 2 or 3 years. I could see that being
Yeah, I can
in
see it
reach.
too. They're really bolstering their forward core, and
Yeah, they're serious.
drafting Luke Hughes is going to do wonders for that defensive core too when he's ready.
Yeah, they're serious about getting better. They signed Dougie Hamilton, so that tells you how much they want to get in the right path.
Yeah. The only thing that scares me about New Jersey is every year for the past like 2 years we've been doing this. We've been saying New Jersey's going to be sick there. This is their year. Like when they brought in Subban, we were saying it, and then they had like Wayne Train too brought in. They had like a lot of pieces, and they were like, "All right, this is New Jersey's year. They're going to take a big jump," and then they fell flat. So
I think it's inevitable that's gonna happen eventually.
yeah,
I don't think
I
this
hope.
year. I think next year.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a couple more years for New Jersey to figure out their
Yeah.
defense and their depth. But I mean, they got players like Kukkonen and Sharon Govich playing first line wing, and I mean, who the fuck ever heard of these guys, right? So if they turn out to be like sneaky good just out of nowhere, that would be huge for him.
Yeah,
Because Sharon
definitely.
Govich did have a really good rookie season. I think he
Yeah,
put up like 30 odd points
yeah,
on a
he's
bad
got.
New Jersey team too.
Yeah, he's skilled. He's got potential. So I think he could be a good top 6 player. Honestly.
Yeah, and probably the best 1-2 punch down the middle too. He's Sharon Hughes is sick.
That would be deadly. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so
And Mercer is playing third line center right now.
he
Actually.
got a point already. He's point per game.
Yeah. So he's playing on the line with Janssen and fuck, I don't know who else. So
Maybe
maybe.
Zaka. No,
No,
Zaka's
I
on
don't think
second
so.
line.
I'm not sure, man. But anyways, he's gonna. I would like to see him on a line with Jack Hughes on the wing.
I would too. That would be huge for Newfoundland. All of Newfoundland would just, I don't know, celebrate if he was on the same line as Jack Hughes.
Yeah. I agree.
Hughes is gonna pop off this year too.
You see that goal he got that underneath third stick?
Holy fuck! Yes, man. What a superstar move! Just like who wants a stick and just throw it in the crowd after scoring the OT winner.
That was clutch, man. People who call him bust, you're fucking clowns because he's not a bust.
No, far from it, man. I was always saying that too. I thought he should have had a better year last year. Had a lot of good touches, but
He's
just couldn't
dynamic,
find the back
man.
of the net, right? But this year is Jack Hughes' year. It's his coming out party.
Yeah, let's hear about Nashville.
So I think Nashville's going to turn it around a bit more than people expect. Yes, they lost Pecorine. Yes, they lost Ryan Ellis. But they still got a great defensive core. They still got Roman Yossi back there throwing around his hammer. Dante Fabro, I think, is going to have a really good year this year on defense. They still got Ekholm. They just re-signed him. UC Saros, I think a lot of people are sleeping on too. Like this guy was great last year. He's got a bit bigger of a role now that he's the starter, but I think he can still handle it. Their forwards, I mean, Johansson and Duchesne, this is their year to turn around their careers. Like if they have another bad year, I think both of them are just going to be, I don't know, lost in the
Working
dust
9 to
of NHL
5s.
history. Yeah, man, they can't have another year like that.
No, man.
They're going to be
That's
serving the
why.
Tims in the drive-thru if they have
Yeah.
another year like they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, they won't be playing for the Nashville Predators much longer if they keep playing like dog shit. I'll tell you that.
Yes, man. I wouldn't
Not like
have
anybody
Ryan.
on Nashville plays any better than dog shit, but
Yeah, it's a bad look for Nashville too, trading away Arvidsson and
and
Ellis.
LS, man.
But imagine if Nolan Patrick shows his second overall potential this year and
It's
absolutely
Cody
pops
Glass,
off.
I think.
Cody Glass came to Vegas. Oh yeah, Nolan Patrick. Oh yeah,
He
that
went to
three-way
Vegas.
trade always burns me out. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Cody Glass is
9th
potential.
overall. He's sick,
Yeah.
man. So,
I think they need a management change. David Poile's like 800 years old. He's been there since the start of the organization. Send his ass to the fucking retirement home, man. Get somebody else to run it. Get Pierre Maguire in there.
yeah, I'd say I don't mind the way they play. I like their structure. I don't think it's a coaching thing.
No,
I think it's just
I don't think it's a
they're-
coaching thing.
or maybe that's why the players, maybe it is a coaching thing and they can't get their players motivated. Like, because Duchesne and Johansson just drag their feet out there. Maybe they just can't get motivated under Boyle. So, might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you
21.
have at 21?
I got the Flyers.
I got New Jersey Devils. We already talked about New Jersey. Let's hear about the Flyers.
I wrote down Philadelphia has a lot of effective NHL players, but it comes in and then putting it together when the games matter. Lots of skill and huge players. I mean, a lot of the guys on the team are over 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", and then I wrote down they might make the playoffs when this year's said and done, but they have a great ability to choke, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get in there and not win a single game.
Yeah, for sure.
my
They're
thoughts on
another
them.
team like Vancouver. They either get in and or they miss it by a nice bit. They don't just miss it. Like, I don't know. It all comes down, I think, to Carter Hart this year. I think he's got to have a bounce back year. And trading away Voracek, like him and Giroux had that like really good chemistry. So I don't know the reasoning behind that trade, but Atkinson looks good right now. But I don't know. I wouldn't have
he
shook
scored a
things
goal.
up that much.
Yeah, well, I guess I figured they needed to make a decision like that to be able to get back in. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, their defense looks nice too, though. Getting rid of Shane Gostisbehere, like he had a bad time there the past couple of years. Just like all these expectations from his first year. So
yeah, he had a good start to his career, but kind of faded off pretty quickly.
It's good to bring in Ellis, though. Ellis is really going to solidify that back end.
Ristolainen too.
I mean, that guy, I don't think he's that good of a defenseman. I think he's overrated. He's overrated because he scored the game-winning goal in Finland in World Juniors in
I think he's
2014.
I think he's a good defenseman, but I don't think he's an amazing defenseman. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he was getting
something to
too
go
many
home about him,
minutes
but
in Buffalo.
yeah, I agree.
He was getting relied upon way too much. Like he'll fit in there on the top four maybe, or he's not a six man. He's not a sixth defenseman. He's a fourth. So
Yeah,
that second
the fourth
line,
guy.
he'll do good on that second line. And
Yeah.
like you said, they got a huge team. They're massive.
Yeah, they're big players. They got Konechny, he's a little bit smaller, but for the most part, they got some big size guys there. So they're hard to play against in playoff situations.
Yeah,
But
for
they
sure.
probably
And
won't
it's
fucking make it.
yeah, and more and more we're seeing now in the playoffs. You need big players. You need to have a strong team there.
Yeah, definitely.
We already talked about New Jersey. Who do you have at
All right.
20?
I had the Rangers. Who do you have
Nice.
at 20?
I have Philadelphia. So we already
Oh,
me and you are just going like
I'll keep
that
going.
and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you say the New York Rangers this low? I was expecting you'd say they were gonna have a good year.
I put them at 20th. I said they got a lot of talent in New York, but they have a bad track record. Fuck my ass. They have a talent in New York,
reset. Get it
they
out
have
of
a
you.
bad track record of failing to develop young skill. I put a lot of big words in that one sentence, so
Yeah.
that was tough to get out.
You're
For
trying to read
example,
at a 8th grade reading level now. You're only at a 4. You need to calm
yeah, I
down.
mean, I'm struggling. Yeah, I got to write it
Oh, we
out a
all
little
are
bit
this
easier.
podcast, man. Don't worry.
um, they got a bad track record of failing to develop young skill, like Kraftsov and Anderson, two
Yeah.
high first round picks. They're basically gone from the organization. Anderson's in LA, and Kraftsov wants out. And their top end skill now was not drafted by the organization. Fox, Panarin, Zibanejad, Strome, all guys brought in through free agency or trade. They need to coach and develop players better, and I don't think they're ready for the playoffs just yet. But then again, Panarin has the ability to drag a team on his back. I think they
That's
need to
right.
develop from within before they make the playoffs.
You look at any single team that's won the cup in the past decade, and they've all done it by
From within.
draft. They've all
From
done it through the
within, man.
draft. They
Yeah.
trade the players, then they develop and grow together. You can't bring in
can't
all
just
these
sign 'em,
pieces.
no.
Yeah, exactly. It might work in the short term, but you'll never win a cup like it.
They
You
got to
gotta-
go from the minors up, man. You got to have a good, solid foundation there. I don't
They're
think
starting
they have
to.
that yet.
I mean, Keandre Miller, I think they drafted him, but besides that, they do bring in a lot of people. It's because they got a lot of money. They got a lot of money just to throw around and just to convince players to sign.
Yeah.
To get them there and then hope they like it and they stick around. But I can't see this team winning a cup either in the next few years.
Not yet. Not
No.
yet. They're 5 years out from contending, I think, majorly. 4 to 5 years.
And
And I,
they keep drafting a lot of forwards. I mean, it's not their fault though. At the position they've been getting with the draft lottery, I mean, you're not going to take a reach and get a defenseman. You're going to take the best available player. So I guess I can't blame them. But yeah, it was hard probably losing fucking Buddy Anderson. What's his first name? Jesus.
Elias.
Yeah. For I think they only got a 3rd round pick for him, and he was drafted 18th overall.
Yeah.
And Krabsov, I don't think he wants out. I think he's gonna find a home on the on that top 6 eventually.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he's unhappy there, so we'll see what happens.
I would be too, man. Fucking fighting Ryan Reeves every day in practice.
Yeah.
Reeves looks at him and is like, all right, we're fighting. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'd be scared too. I want out. I go play in the minor team. I'm playing Hartford. So fuck this. Who do you have at 19?
I had the fuck, man. My voice is going now. Jesus.
Nah, don't worry
I
about
just
it.
stroking. Pittsburgh Penguins, man.
At 19. Wow. We differ on that pick.
Who do you have?
I have Calgary Flames.
Yeah, I see that.
Why would you say Pittsburgh this low?
You
shit on them and then I'll hype them up when I get to them.
I don't know. They don't add much, and they don't go anywhere in the playoffs in the last few years. They don't add much, so they don't, unless they just dig their way out of it from within, which they don't get very many good draft picks. So they're not bringing in many big
They
players.
hardly get a 1st round pick ever.
I think this is a big year for them, and if they fail to advance, maybe they look to move some core pieces. So we'll see what happens. I think when this year's done and over with, I think they're in the playoffs. But I got them at 19 right now because I figured they'd have a slower start than what they're having with Malkin and Crosby out, but they're actually playing pretty well.
They're on fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodriguez is playing good. Teddy Bluger's playing good.
Yeah. So we'll see how it ends up. They'll probably be higher in the next power ranking. So let's hear about your group.
So Calgary Flames, really just a meh team. They're right in the middle. They don't have, I mean, they got a great first line in Gaudreau, Kachuk, and Elias Lindholm. And then even Sean Monahan's all right. But I mean, their defense now after losing Giordano isn't the best. They've got Rasmus Anderson back there, hoping to make a bigger step. Their goaltending isn't the best. Markstrom played a lot better in front of the behind the Vancouver Canucks instead of Calgary. He had a rough season last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
After you get past their second line, I don't see a lot of great players on this team that I don't know. They're holding on to a lot of players that they just had for a while and they're afraid to move them. And I think a lot of players want out too. I think Kachuk kind of wants out. And I think Gaudreau wants out too. So I don't feel strong about this team at all.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot, definitely.
Yeah. But you can talk about them when we get to wherever they are on your rankings. Who do you have at 18?
I got Chicago Blackhawks.
Hey, me too. Nice.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
we've hit
Caleb,
3
fuck
lineup.
you.
Yeah,
that's
well,
3.
I basically said Stan Bowman's mind seems to believe Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves are still 24 years old. He keeps trading young players that he drafts and signs big name guys to try and keep the team competitive. I think he's done an okay job, but for the most part, Stan Bowman's a fucking clown. So I don't think I think he's daydreaming about them winning the cup again with players this old. I'm sorry, man, Caleb. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it, man. It's just not. They don't have the drive anymore. I don't think, and there's the pieces are good, but they're not good enough. Pretty well, is how I see it. What do you
It's
think?
the same thing as Columbus. They can't make up their mind. As soon as they start thinking, okay, I think it's time to tear it down, they're like, nah, just one more playoff rush, right?
Yeah,
Because they traded away Keith
yeah.
and got back a young defenseman, and then they, I don't know, trade away Panarin, or did he just leave? He got
He
traded.
traded.
Yeah, and then they're shipping all these pieces out, and then not really getting a lot back for them, and then saying, okay, well, we'll rebuild, and then trade away Boquist this year. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand. They can't make up their mind. Is what's
Yeah,
wrong.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Did he have it 17?
We've got the new Seattle Kraken at 17.
Me too. I thought you were gonna have him in the playoffs.
We're lining up. I got them in the playoffs, but I don't have them in the playoffs right now.
Oh yeah. I guess this is only the first week. Yeah,
I
they look better than I thought they were. Sorry,
yeah,
we're interrupting each other. You talking
that's
then I
fine.
talk. What do you got on them?
I said good draft. Not much high in skill, but they have drive to win because they're a first year team and they were taking an expansive draft. So I think they'll be competitive. It's a good foundation. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them go on a run and make the playoffs. But I don't see them winning a cup or being contender necessarily. So I think they could be a first round loss. And I also wrote here Morgan Geekie could be a breakout player because he's looking really good.
Did you see that snipe he had?
Yeah, I did.
Against who'd they play? I can't even remember, but top cheddar from like the right play face off dot. It was nasty.
Yeah, he's got potential that's untapped, I think. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens there. And any other comments on that?
Yeah, for sure. I think honestly, there's nothing too impressive about this team, but anytime you got a expansion draft or an expansion team, you're just thinking like every player on that team's got a chip on his shoulder when he plays his old team, right? So everybody, it's the same thing as Vegas had, that just like, all right, this is my new family kind of thing. So they're going to be so close and they're going to play really well and they're going to work hard, man. They got something to prove now. They said, oh, you let me go to the expansion draft. Well, I'm going to be sick here. So, and they drafted good players that are role players. So nobody's really, I don't think, fighting for like a top 6. They know their role on that team. Everybody I'd say is fine with where they're playing.
Yeah.
And they drafted good leadership too in Giordano and some older players like
Schwartz and Eberle.
Schwartz and Eberle, yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to have him.
For sure. Grubauer is kind of a shaky goalie too because he looks good at times. I mean, he won a cup with sitting on the bench with Washington Capitals, didn't he?
But, yeah, he did.
I don't know. So I guess he knows what it takes to win, and he was on that Colorado team, so he definitely knows what it takes to win. But he's just a shaky goalie for me. Some days he's on, and the other days he looks like he could be playing in the AHL.
That's exactly what he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you got at 16, our first playoff spot?
Right now, I have the Calgary Flames.
All right. Sweet.
Like I said, I my division predictions, I had Seattle in the playoffs. So I mean, right now, I looked at
this is only a power rankings for
right now,
start of the season.
Yeah.
This will change by the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, and I got the Flames, and I'm not going to talk about them too much because you put up some major points, but I basically wrote their core is fighting against changes, and if they don't succeed, there's going to be some major pieces moved, and I think they're a difficult team to play against. But I don't see the drive to win night in and night out, and it's middle of the road club. So that's all
Yeah,
I'm going to say on that, because you talked about them a bit. So I want to hear
for
your
sure.
16th team.
Yeah, and kind of like Nashville too with Calgary. Like they look like they're dragging their feet sometimes.
Sometimes,
So
yeah, they
there's
don't
just
give a
no
fuck on
motivation
us.
there or something.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know
something
what
about it.
changed in the last couple of years, but I don't know. Calgary was looking great, and then they just fell off.
Yeah.
My number 16 is the St. Louis Blues. I think right now I would put them in the playoff spot. Uh, I don't know. Still a good core even without Pietrangelo. They still got, I don't know. For my money, one of the best defensive cores in the league. They got decent goaltending in Binnington. I find him a bit streaky too. So hopefully he has a good year. And their forward group, I think they have a good mix of vets, and they have young players coming up that could really impress us this year.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They've won, and they got some guys who are experienced. So if they do get in the playoffs, they have potential to go on a run. And they got some good young players. They seem to draft okay, so they always have at least one player who's coming up. So that's cool to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it's awesome. Who do you have at 15?
Well, I put them here before the shitty start. I had the Canadians. I put them here a few days ago. So I put in they lost some major pieces. They gave up on their uh, star player in Kakniemi, suppose star player. I think they're going to play hard and squeak in some wins, is what I wrote. But I think much like Calgary, they're middle of the pack, and I think it was just a team being hot at the right time, and I don't see long-term success right now with this lineup.
No, especially with Price and Shea Weber out right now. Like that is a huge loss. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost immeasurable. Like that
Yeah,
is the core of this team, I would think. That is your
yeah,
captain and your starting goalie. And what it like, I don't know. You can't just bounce back and just
yeah,
play without those players. So
yeah.
it's a rough one, but yeah. I
Is
mean,
what
they could still come back though. On paper they look sick. Their forward core is probably will rate where you have them top 15 in the league. They have an above average forward core. I think
yeah,
they have some
definitely.
really skilled players
Yeah,
and young players too, like Suzuki and Caulfield and Jake Evans in that lineup. Gives them a bit of energy.
I just don't think it's put together well enough to win
Yeah,
consistently.
yeah, and kind of the same thing. They just bring in a lot of players to just trying to fix problems in the short term instead of looking at it in the long
Long
term.
term. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's 15 for you?
I have the New York Rangers. I think
Oh
right
yeah.
now I'd put them in there. I think they got an excellent team. I think Zibanejad, Panarin,
Mm-hmm.
Strome, and then your young guys. You got Capo Caco. Well, not right now. He's injured. Um, and you also have Lafreniere. You got Kandre Miller. You got Adam Fox on the back end. And I think they have a good tandem in net, too. I think Shesterkin and Gorgiev. I don't think that's a bad tandem whatsoever.
No, I don't think so either.
Young Russian blood back there.
Yeah, they got some good pieces, man. I mean, high draft picks. So
Yeah.
you
But
gotta
all the
wait and see how
same,
it
I wouldn't
unfolds.
be surprised. I got them as a middling team because I could see them missing the playoffs easy, too. So, who do you have at 14? Or were you done with?
I'm done with that one.
All right. Who do you have at 14?
14, I have Vancouver.
All
I see
right,
him.
some high expectations. Me and you kind of switched these picks. I think where you had Dallas, I had Vancouver, and where you had Vancouver, I have Dallas.
Yeah. So I I think this team can be back in the playoffs. I think they have the pieces to be successful, but they need to prove it by playing good hockey for 82 games. And that's
Yep.
we got to wait and see. They got a good core, and I think they got some talented prospects. We just need to see it to actually happen.
Yeah, I think they have. They're one of my favorite teams to watch because I love Pedersen and I love Nils Hoglander too. He came in off on the scene last year. He was crazy last year. Bringing in Bud Colson now too is
Yeah,
gonna
he was a decent draft pick for where he was drafted. I think it was
40th
second round.
overall, man.
Yeah,
40th. Yeah,
that's a good pick.
yeah. I wanted
Vancouver.
Detroit to get him. but yeah, Vancouver, and I mean, add in OEL and Garland in the offseason. They're going to be a good team, but I think it's bringing in too much at the same time. Like
that's a fair
just
assessment.
switching up all the chemistry. But I mean, Hughes and Pedersen are going to be lights out on the power play this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you're right. What about Dallas? What anything to add? Dallas.
The Dallas Stars this year, I think, is their comeback year. I think last year was.
Yeah.
I think they made it to the. Hear me out now. They made it to the Cup final, and then last year was not their fault. They got bit bad by the injury bug. Never had Tyler Seguin, and then COVID. I think they lost like 8 games due to COVID. That they just couldn't play or got like changed to another date and kind of threw them off. I think they got a good team here. I think listen to this back end. Essa Lindell, Miro Heiskanen, Klingberg, and what was their fourth?
Suter.
Yeah, and Suter. Like that is a nasty top 4 defense.
Mm-hmm. It is good top 4.
I think they got depth. I think Jason Robertson's gonna get 50 points this year too.
He's good. He's
great. He's fast. I love watching him.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah, so I kind of say the same thing where they have a good defensive core. I just don't see it offensively, and I think that's my issue. With
I think Rupe. I think that line Rupe, Hintz, Pavelski, and Jason Robertson are going to come hot on the scene this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to do well.
But I mean, like Vancouver, me and you just have their places switched. They could go either way. They're a middling team in my eyes, Dallas. Like they're not going to be up at the top of this list. I wouldn't say. They're always going to be in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They're just one of those teams, man. They just sit around the middle for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. Either they get into playoffs or they drafts at 17th overall.
Yeah. 13th.
Who do you got at 13?
I have the Blues. I think
the Blues. All right. Yeah.
We just talked about them, so I won't sit here too long. But I think they're a hard-hitting team, difficult to play against. They have experience, and I think that alone makes them dangerous. And I just wouldn't be surprised to see them going on a run and have another crack at the cup before O'Reilly collects his pension. So fuck the heart rate monitors going off.
Yeah. Do you think Vlad Tarasenko stays?
I think he does. Honestly, I think they figure out a way to fix it. So
I don't see who he goes to.
No, there's not many teams who want to take on that contract right now. I still think he's a good player. So we'll see what happens.
For sure. Yeah, so do I. I like him as a playoff team for sure.
Yeah.
I have your Minnesota freaking Wild here.
Let's hear about
at 13. And I know it's a bit low. I think Kirill has a sophomore slump here. I don't think he
get the fuck out of here.
I don't think he gets he'll get 70, but he
I had 100 points.
I know what you got. 100 points for Cat. That's I don't know, that's crazy. I think he'll get 70. I mean, he's worth his money just from the seats that he fills. People come there to Minnesota games to watch Kaprizov. They don't come there to watch Cam Talbot. They sorry. I know. That's your trigger word. I know. But they come there for Kaprizov. And but I don't know. I don't think he can carry this team. They got Fiala. They got good pieces, I guess, but their center core is pretty shit too. Honestly, I'm here ripping them apart. Like I got them in the playoffs. Like they're gonna be a good team. They got good defense.
Tell me something positive. Stop shitting on them.
I know. I got them at 13th, and I'm just ripping them a new one. But
yeah, like you were literally like complimenting, like fucking.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, New York Rangers, they're gonna be sick. Fucking wasn't talking bad about them at all, and here I am, fucking Minnesota. 13. They're pretty shit, man. Fuck Kaprizov, like he's garbage. No, I think they got a good team. They got off to a good start too. They're a fun team to watch, and they're gonna obviously get in the playoffs this year. But yeah, no, they're
elite.
A good team.
They're a good elite.
Team. I don't think I'll have them as high as you got them, but they're definitely a good team.
No, you don't have them at 1, I guess. I'm joking.
No. Do you want to touch on anything in Minnesota, or do you want to touch on it when we get to your pick?
I think we're gonna wait till I get there.
All right, then in that case, who do you have at 12?
Washington Capitals.
Okay, I have the other W team. I have the Winnipeg Jets.
Ooh, that's a good pick. I said the Capitals want to win again. They play consistently. Their prospect system isn't top level, but they find a way to bring in decent players, and they don't add much either, like Pittsburgh Penguins. So they just have to keep competing while they have a chance, and while the players that are their core are still there. I think they have major skill up front. I think their defense core is what lacks.
Yeah, for
So
sure. They don't have a lot on that back end. There's some guy back there this year, an American player, and I can't pronounce his name. It starts with an F. It's like Ferrare or something. But he's supposed to be pretty good playing on
yeah,
the top
Martin
six.
for whatever the fuck.
Yeah, dude. The guy's got like 3 F's and 8 H's in his name,
Yeah.
dude. It's so hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be all right. And they got John Carlson, and they got that sick power play too.
Mm-hmm.
They might
Really
have
good power
one of the
play.
best power plays. If it wasn't for Edmonton, maybe the best. And
Yeah.
Boston and Toronto, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they still got a lot of good pieces too, like Oshie and I don't know, Oshie, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, and then young players too coming up like McMichael and
Hero. Wait, it's not Hero, is it?
no,
Lapierre.
who got drafted? Lapierre. Yeah, I was trying to
yes.
think of his name too. So
Yeah.
if those two guys come in too and chip away at a bit of offense, they got a
Yeah.
real good chance.
Yeah, I think so.
Vanasek and Vitek or Vitek, I don't know. That's a good tandem too. I like those two goalies.
Mm-hmm.
Or is,
Yeah,
what the hell
it's
is that?
Vitek Vanacek.
Samsonov. I was saying two of his names as two last names. Vitek Vanasek and Samsonov. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some fucked up goalie names. I'll tell you that.
Man, it's hard to get there. It's hard to get there after the weekend I just had.
The guy who's doing it, their jerseys must like be shit baked when he's in the room.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
No, not that bad. I don't know. I don't mind those two goalies. I think
they're decent goalies. Yeah, definitely.
And I think they got a really good forward core too.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never bet against Ovi.
Never. Don't do it.
He's gonna get 60 this year.
60 what goals?
Yeah. You're saying Matthews can get 60?
Yeah, Matthews is like 50 years younger.
Yeah, well, Ovi's got 50 years more experience. He knows how to score in this league, buddy.
Yeah, I can see 50. I don't know about 60. It's hard to score
10 more
60.
goals. That's only 10 more shots on net. The kid will get 60.
No, man.
I think Ovi gets 60. I think Matthews gets 59 and a half.
No way. Matthews getting 2 straight rockets. Matthews going for the heart this year.
He won't get that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the heart, never mind. Next, I got Winnipeg at 12. I like Winnipeg's team. I think they're at their peak now. I think they're going to be a really strong team for the next couple of years. They got rid of Line. Line was only causing problems. Brought in another center for that 1-2 punch with Scheifele and Dubois. Ehlers and Connor are 2 sick scoring wingers, which is good too. See, their goalie is sick with Hellebuck, but they got no defense either. They got no star defenseman. And they're not playing
Morrissey's good, man. He's not a star, but he's really good.
Morrissey, I guess, is underrated a lot of times. He's big and he can move the puck.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Anything else on Winnipeg, or we'll wait till you get to them?
I got him a little bit hard, so I'll talk about him when I get there, I guess.
Sounds good. Who do you have at double ones?
I got the Minnesota Wild, elite.
All right,
elite.
Yeah, elite. Yeah, almost breaking the top 10.
Do you think that's a fair pick? Fair place?
I think anywhere around 10 to 13 is a good place for Minnesota this year. I don't think they break the top 10, but anywhere from 11 to say 15, they'll get in. They'll get in for sure.
Yeah, I wrote down the Wild are seen as underdogs because they don't have any superstars other than Kaprizov. And I think they have a top 5 defense core in the league and probably a top 5 goalie tandem in the league. Nobody talks about that goalie tandem in Minnesota, man.
Kakkonen's sick. Kakkonen's going to take over.
He's good, man.
A couple
and
jobs.
Talbot's good, man. Talbot's solid. Kakkonen's solid. The only concern for me is the offense over 82 game schedule, honestly. Consistently, but I mean Greenway's made good strides offensively, and Kaprizov, 100-point player, obviously.
We'll see. We'll see.
And
I might have to take
Eric
another
Snick.
case of beer off you for that.
Yeah. Eric Snick, I mean, he's a great two-way player. He's not necessarily going to put up 8 points a year, but
he's
great
not there
offensively.
he's not there for points. He's there for the two-way.
I think Minnesota needs one more piece to win a cup, and I think that one piece is Jack Eichel. I do.
Oh.
I think if they had Jack Eichel, they could win a cup. They need that star center, man. If they had that star center,
it's Rossi.
Yeah, but we don't want to wait for him, man. We want Jack.
Wait, he'll come in this year. He'll come in January and play his rookie season, and then he'll come in next year and be a stud.
If they traded Rossi for Eichel, I wouldn't be upset. I'm being honest with you.
Really? I like Rossi more.
Eichel, Kaprizov on a line. You're fucking joking.
I know. That would be. I can't imagine trying to stop that line. That would be so fast.
And Zuccarello.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Zuccarello there too. Nuts.
140 points. Easy. I'm joking.
Yeah. I like Minnesota's team though. I really do. I
defense core, man, is so underrated. So underrated. Really good defensively.
I can't believe they still have good defensive core after taking out their cornerstone in Suter. But they still got Dumba. They still got Spurgeon, Brodeen.
Yeah. Lots of guys there are good players, so
for sure. I don't like their forward depth that much. I think they could have.
Yeah, Freddie Gaudreau is a son of piece of added who's actually a really good forward.
I haven't watched too much. Where did he come from? Pittsburgh,
and he's been playing really good. He's in the top 9 now, and I mean he's producing well. We're only 1 or 2 games in, but he's been playing like a guy who's going to produce well. Is what I'm trying to say. So
best Gaudreau in the league.
Yeah, he might be after
this year first. Don't at me.
Who's 11 for you?
Edmonton Oilers.
That's a good
Edmonton
pick.
Oilers. McDavid gets 140 points, but they just lose too many games. They're not built defensively. They're built all offense.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I think having McDavid and Draisaitl automatically put them in the top 15 teams.
Yeah, 100%. Just those two.
So
their goaltending scares me.
I don't think Keith Holland's, or is that his name? Ken Holland.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done a lot of good things, honestly.
But he wasn't doing great things in Detroit either. I'm kind of happy he moved on.
Yeah, I think they needed a different guy to run it.
He's good for sound bites, though. He throws out some funny shit sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will talk about Edmonton more when we get there. Who do you got at 10?
I got Carolina Hurricanes. I had them outside the playoffs on my prediction, so I don't know what the fuck I'm at. I look at a team and I say, are they good? Are they good? Maybe. Yeah. No, they're good. So I don't know. I put solid core of players. Fucking heartbeat, man. And I'm not in the hospital, I promise. I put they had a great core players and great prospect pool. I think they're close, but the reason I had them falling off my division rankings is because I think they changed it up too much. They brought in, there's too many new faces in the room, and bringing in 2 new goalies who haven't been on the same team before. I think that's big change for a group. But I got them at 10, so I don't know what the fuck I got them at 10 for, but I just think the offense makes up for the changes, if that makes any sense.
It does. They got crazy offense this year, like probably the best in the league just for depth wise. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're just pulling these players out of their ass and just throwing them out there and they're producing. I mean, then bringing in a player like Kaka. Jesus Christ. I need to start writing names down. Kakaniemi. Like he's a nuts player, but I don't think he's worth the money they gave him. I think that's kind of just like a big fuck you to Montreal. But I think they're gonna be good. I got Pittsburgh at 10.
Yeah.
Or sorry, What was your notes on Carolina? I kind of
10.
What?
Carolina, I had Carolina at 10.
No, what's your notes on them?
Oh, geez, I already talked about that, didn't I?
Oh, okay. Yeah. You talked about defense and offense. I thought you were just going off your head then.
No,
Um,
that's pretty much what I put there.
yeah, I got Pittsburgh at 10. I think they're definitely still a top 10 team in the league. Crosby's only out for another week, and then as soon as Crosby hits that ice, game over. Look how good they're playing without Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah.
Letang is really doing good this year. I thought Letang was kind of dust from
Yeah,
the
he's
past
getting
couple
some
of
good
years.
points.
He is, man, and he's contributing a lot. He's getting like
Yep.
primary assists. I don't know. As soon as Crosby gets back, he's going to drag him into the playoffs. He knows he is, and he's going to
Yeah.
put up a lot of points this year. Because
Yeah.
I think he's
Sidney
starting to get
Crosby.
pissed off. Everybody's saying oh, he's dropping off this year. He'll never have another good year. He's gonna fucking come back and smoke this league. So he's gonna drag him into the playoffs. And
Yeah.
I mean,
hope so.
their goaltending is the same thing as like Edmonton, kind of just like it scares me because they're not proven.
Mm-hmm.
They wins a cup with a goalie. You got a cup? Get the fuck out of here. Bring in this other goalie. What? You got a cup too? We don't want you. Get the fuck. And they just keep recycling goalies.
Yeah.
Not even recycling, just throwing them in the ocean like plastic bottle. And so I don't know. Their goaltending is improving, or their tandem, but
Yeah.
I like the rest of the team.
Pittsburgh Penguins are not good for climate change. They recycle goalies too. Actually, wait,
They
that
don't
makes no
recycle
sense.
goalies.
They
If they
don't
did
recycle.
what they
Yeah.
should be doing is giving Matt Murray to Ottawa and then taking him back, and that would be good recycle. I would.
Yeah. They might
I
take
think-
Fleury back yet after this year.
Yeah, geez, I hope so. Get
Mhm.
Fleury out of Chicago. Let him win
Yes.
another cup.
Start like a change.org petition or something.
Yeah, start a
Fleury to
GoFundMe
Chicago.
for him.
Yeah.
Pay for his flight back to Pittsburgh. Pay for his salary so Chicago can
Yeah.
retain him. Did we talk about your 10?
We did.
Carolina. Yeah.
Number 9.
Who is your number 9?
Edmonton.
Edmonton. Yeah. Let's talk about Edmonton.
Oh,
I'm all fired up now talking about bad goaltender.
I think the goaltending is atrocious in Edmonton
Yeah. I would
for
agree with you.
playoffs. I think Smith is good, man, but it's just you don't win a cup with a 40-year-old goalie, man. It's just written in stone somewhere. If you went and traveled the world and you looked for the stones that were written in, you'd find one that said you're not going to win the fucking cup with a 40-year-old goalie because you just can't do it. So
I'm pretty sure it was actually the 11th commandment, but that piece of the
yeah,
tablet broke off.
broke off, and
So we were left with 10.
down the river and float off somewhere. Don't sign Mike Smith at 40 years old. I'm surprised
Yeah.
Ken Holland never gave him like a 6-year deal. So he's
Do
like
not kill
46
thy
years
neighbor.
old.
Do not envy thy neighbor. You cannot win the Stanley Cup with a 40-year-old goalie.
Yeah.
But
Do
we
not
lost
sign
that
thy
one.
Do not sign thy Mike Smith at 40 years old. So I don't think they have enough depth. Basically, what you said is just they get 2 powerhouse forwards, and they got a few good pieces. Like Hyman's a good piece, and Nurse is good, and
Yeah.
a couple of
I
young
like
pieces.
Hyman on that team. As much as I
Yeah.
loved Hyman on Toronto, I like him more on Edmonton, I think.
Yeah, it's a good
I
career
think he'll
choice for him.
complement McDavid so much better than he complimented Matthews, because Matthews can kind of hold his own, Matthews is
Matthews
he
is more
pushes his-
aggressive.
Yeah,
He's
he
like
puts
more
his weight out there.
bigger
where
body,
McDavid
yeah.
kind of not needs, but would complement. They'll work well together.
Benefit, yes, yeah.
So yeah, we both have them in the playoffs. Edmonton's a good team. It's just McDavid's
Yep.
really dragging that, and like over an 82 game schedule. Like imagine how tired Mike Smith and Koskinen are going to be when they get to playoffs. They're not going to have any jam left at all.
No, that's a problem.
Yeah. Mike
need to-
Smith did
need
get
to
like
fix some
45
things.
saves the other night, though.
He's a good goalie, man, but I just can't see it for the long run, especially on a playoff run. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
how it plays out. Who do you have at number 9?
I have the Washington Capitals. We
Yeah.
we're already talking about them, which
Yeah.
how much I love them. I love their goalies. I love their top 2 defensemen, and I love their forward core. They got a deadly top 6 forward core there, and Ovi's going to score 60. Kuznetsov is going to do probably 8 pounds of coke out of the Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Sounds like a fun time. I hope we get the invite.
Yeah, have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let him
Yeah.
do an Instagram takeover, and he can just post on his story.
Oh my God. Just be a bunch of like drugs and shit in there.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Didn't he accidentally post a picture of him doing blow or something?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Nice. What a legend.
Tough luck. Yeah, legend. Russian legend.
You don't get these kind of things out of Canadian players. It's only out of Russia.
They don't give a fuck, right? So
No,
you don't give
not
a
one.
fuck.
Who do you have at number 8?
I had the Islanders at number 8.
Nice, me too, man. That's 4 picks. Same,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Yeah,
Why do you like
well,
these guys?
They play playoff hockey all year. I think they're effective, but they're kind of boring to watch. So I wouldn't tune into. I don't watch many Islanders games, but I'd like to see them generate a little bit more offense. But I don't think they're going to because what they're doing works. And Trotz is a good coach.
Yeah, I think so too. Best in the league, I think.
Yeah,
He's number 1. Yeah, I agree with that too, man. I wish they played more offense. Because I love Matt Barzal and they don't really give him the chance to be an offensive superstar like he can be.
yeah,
But I mean, it works. It gets him wins. So why would they stop, really?
yeah. That's true.
They got good defense too. They got sneaky good defense.
Pellick.
Yeah, Pulik. Second shout out for those two, this podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're great. And their goaltending. I love Varlamov and younger
couple
Russian.
of Russians.
Sorokin, yeah, dude, these Russian tandems in this league. That's what you got to do. You got to build a team from
you got to get a Russian tandem.
net, and then
Yeah,
it
Russia,
doesn't even matter what you do next.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, Islanders are going to be definitely a playoff team in the top 10, I'd say, on anyone's list. Who do you have at 7?
I got the Leafs at 7. Who do you have?
Same, dude. Yes, man. 5. That's sick. Why do you like them? I know why you like them, but why do you have them at 7?
They got some of the best offensive talent in the league. I don't think they lack depth at all. I think they brought in good depth. Nick Ritchie, Kashe, Kerfoot, Nylander, a lot of good depth.
Biggest
Bunting,
mammal in the world.
Yeah, he's the biggest mammal in the world, man. You can't go wrong. And Bunting is unreal. He plays a really good style of hockey, but I think it's all mental with the Leafs. I think they put too much pressure on themselves. It's officially the biggest hockey market in the world. I seen a post about that, past New York Rangers. So it's there's a lot of pressure to play there. So I think that it toys with their minds more than if you were a fucking Buffalo Sabres going to the Cup Finals. So
yeah,
it's tough.
In a vacuum, they would have a great team on paper and a sick cup odds. But it's just all in their heads, especially Marner. I think Matthews is pretty good at blocking all that out, but Marner is really, I don't know, just wants everyone's approval. He's a hometown boy. He's got a lot on the line here.
Yeah.
So I think he I don't know, just thinks the game way too much and it hurts him in the long run.
Yeah.
But I like their goaltending. I like Mrazek. Too bad he got injured.
Campbell's the guy.
Cam,
he's the guy.
I thought
he's
it was
guy,
Mrazek
man.
this year.
No, man. Campbell's the guy,
injured.
man. Campbell's been playing unreal. The dude's got a 960 save percentage. He's appeared in 3 games.
That's insane.
He is a guy, in my opinion.
All right, I take it back. Jack Campbell's the guy. Soup. He loves Red Lobster too.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. You watch that documentary?
No, I just seen a media thing on Instagram.
Oh yeah, he loves Red Lobster. He goes around the room saying, "How about you guys some Red Lobster if we win tonight?"
That's sick too. I heard all the guys love him to pieces too.
Yeah.
It's sad to see Freddie Anderson go because I think he fit in well there. But I like Jack Campbell.
Yeah,
I like his story. He's awesome.
Great story.
Who do you got number 6? I don't know why I said it like that.
I got the Bruins.
Same, man. I mean, you're just gonna rattle off the same teams right now.
We might, man.
Why do you like them?
Very experienced group, talented lineup, and they could go on a deep run any year. I think they lack a bit of defensive depth to get a cup, but with players like Marchand, Bergeron, Pastrnak up front, an example of not having a great defensive core and winning a cup was Pittsburgh's cups in 2016-17. They never had an amazing defense core, and they still won. So I think Boston's capable of another cup.
True. I don't, because you look at any single team that's won the cup, they've always had a solid 1-2 punch down the middle. And this year, Bruins lost that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with Boston.
I think their goaltending is going to be a bit shaky too. It's Swayman and Allmark.
Yeah.
And but Allmark might do really good this year just because he was playing in front of a shit Buffalo team. Doesn't mean he can't play a good year in Buffalo or Boston.
Yeah.
So
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely a playoff team. Probably not the best in the Atlantic Division, but they're a
No,
good
I don't
team.
think so.
I know that we differ here. Who do you have at 5?
Colorado Avalanche.
That low? Nice. I can't talk right now. Why do you take the Avs here?
I think they have some of the best players in the game, and I like their overall group, but I think they lost a bit of depth this offseason. Graves guys gone, Tim and Saad. I think they just lost a few pieces there, and they're going to try and replace it from within. And, they signed a guy like Jack Johnson, who's not really a good depth piece, in my opinion, but they know what they're doing. They lost their goalie. They had to bring in Kemper. We'll see how he plays because he's never had to play on a good team. So we'll see what that's like for him. But they're still a top 5 team in the league, in my opinion. They have Nathan McKinnon, who's the second best player in the world right now, I think. So we'll see how it shakes out. I think they could win a cup. If they won a cup, I wouldn't shock me at all.
No, me neither. Not at all. I have Carolina here, but we'll talk on Colorado for a bit. I think so too. I think the only thing with Kemper, I think he's a world-class goalie. It's just he's injury prone. Like the guy is made of glass pretty much when the season gets going. I like their forwards though. They've got the best forwards in the game on that top line. And they do have depth. They lost a bit, but they got Newhook there for a speedy third line winger. They still got Donskoy, don't they? Or is he Seattle?
I think he's done. Oh, he's Seattle. Yeah,
I think he's definitely
true.
Seattle. Never mind, they lost him too.
They lost
Yeah,
him, but they got Barham too. He's been playing well. So
their defense is not a problem. I think Jack Johnson's perfect for the 6th pair. He's a bit slow. He doesn't have his feet that he used to, but he's still good as a 6th, and he's experienced. So I got Carolina here. I got them a bit higher than you do. I love this team. I think their defense is unbelievably good. I think it's unbelievably underrated too. I think their goaltending is going to be weird just because what you said, bringing in 2 brand new guys between the pipes. I've never seen that before, so
no, neither.
See. I love their forwards though. They got the best top 6 forwards. I've said that I think about like 8 different teams tonight, but their top 6 forwards are unreal, and they just keep finding these players in their system that you wouldn't think are good either. And they turn it on. Who do you have at 4?
I got the Golden Knights at 4.
Nice. I have Colorado. We already talked about Colorado.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Vegas.
I think they're on the brink of getting it back together to go to the finals. They signed some good players with some good contracts. Their captain Stone and their assistant captain Petrangelo, and I think they just missed number 1 center. I think if they could add a guy like Jack Eichel, no matter what the cost, I think Jack Eichel's always out there because he's a piece that could really put a team over the top.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at him. So I'm kind of upset about the Fleury situation, so I don't really want to see them win one. If I'm going to be honest with you.
I know they've kind of got me sour over them too. I don't like some of the morale decisions, or like I don't know. They don't have the best ethics over there in Vegas, but
no.
I don't know, but an expansion team to win the cup, 5 years in? I think that would be a record. I don't think any expansion team's done that. So
yeah, they almost won it a fucking year in. So
yeah, I know that would have been a great story too. But I'm happy Ovi got his cup.
Yeah, that's nice. I was pumped to see Ovi. I remember just watching that game, and I was really excited to see Ovi win a cup.
Yeah, me too.
I almost fucking crying, man. I loved it, man. You could tell how much that meant to him, man.
Yeah, I know. And I think if he didn't win the cup, we'd be talking he was the best player to ever do it that didn't win a cup.
Yeah, but we don't have to.
Top that list. Exactly. Thank God, man.
Yeah.
I got Colorado. We already talked about Colorado. Who do you got at 3?
Yeah, the Jets. We talked a bit about them too, but I'll just go into it quickly.
Jets at 3. I didn't see that coming. I forgot you didn't mention those guys yet.
Yeah, I think they're a solid group in all areas, and I think they have one of the best goalies in the league. I think they're the best Canadian team right now in terms of being able to win a cup. I think they should try and add at the deadline. Look for a really good forward, really good defenseman. Find something that can help make you have a good push in the playoffs. And I'd also like to see Dubois have a bounce back year, and I think he's going to do it. And if he does, this team is looking really, really solid.
Yeah.
Stastny, Dubois, and Scheifele in center core.
Yeah, for sure. It was tough to see Appleton go. I like to see Appleton in the Jets jersey, but I mean they got more pieces they can bring in to replace him. But yeah, Jets are a really strong forward team. Not the best defensively. They don't have a lot of depth on the back.
Like to see them add there at the deadline.
Yeah, so would I. A big right-handed defenseman or something, but you got to pay those players now. So maybe someone that's deal is ending soon.
Yeah,
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but
no, me either.
I don't know. Get
So
one of those guys.
Who do you
for
have
your
at 3?
team. I have the Florida Panthers. I think Panthers are a wagon this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see any excuses for this team anymore, except for goaltending. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem though, because Bob should be a lot better. Yeah. But they got Spencer Knight there to give Bob a break, so they don't have to rely on like Chris Drieger or like Sean Montembeault like they were in the past years. So they got a nice tandem now. Their defense is unreal. Really underrated defenseman is Mackenzie Weegar.
Yeah, Weegar's
not a lot of
good,
guys talk about him, but he's good. And
solid.
Incredible forward core. Bringing in Joe now, you got some experience. I hope Joe wins the cup this year.
That would be amazing. I think that if Joe Thornton want to raise the cup, man,
that would be something to see. They should bring in Marleau and Thornton win a cup on the fourth line of the Panthers.
That would crazy. Be like in the Panthers too, man. The Panthers win a cup and to have those guys in the fourth line.
Yeah,
that would be. We'd have to throw a party to watch that game.
Yeah, honestly though, we'd have to live stream for like 13 listeners, man. Yeah. That would be so sick though, because they went from the West Coast in San Jose all the way to the East Coast. That would be such a great story.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah.
They went coast to coast to win a cup. That'd be a sick little tagline.
Yeah.
Yep. Who do you got at number 2?
I had Florida. So we just talked about them.
There.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you have anything to add on
them? They got a really experienced coach who knows how to win, and they have a great prospect pool too. So that's pretty much all I have to add. And who do you have at second?
I have the Vegas Golden Knights. I think they definitely push for that 1 or 2 spot this year. I think this is their year. Yeah. I mean, they lost Fleury, which is so rough because I don't know. There must have been something poison in that relationship, but I don't know. He was just such a solid goal. He won the Vezina and they got traded for nothing. I can't believe that.
Shitty, man. It's shitty.
But it's just a cap dump, and I think it was the wrong move.
I do too.
Who gives a fuck what I think? Probably nobody, just our 13 listeners and you.
Yeah.
But no, this is Vegas' year. They definitely need a top line center just to keep that William Karlsson, Martian Show, and Riley Smith line together, and then just move Chandler
to the wing.
Jesus. No, to the third line.
Yeah.
They need a first line center.
They do, man. Like I said, Eichel would push these guys to the cup. I think I would trade.
If Eichel was on that team, I'd have him at number 1.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Speaking of number 1, who do you got top of the list?
Yeah, I got the Arizona Coyotes number 1.
Yeah, me too, man. Solid pick. Good night. End the show. roll the fucking credits.
Yeah. Tampa Bay Lightning, buddy. Tampa Bay Lightning, man.
Me too.
No surprise.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
2 straight cups. It's not fair to put them anywhere else, I don't think. I think they lost a lot of depth, losing their full third line, but they brought in a guy like Perry, and they got Maroon there, so they got guys that can move around. Boris Kachuk, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, Kachuk.
Yeah, he seems like he's going to be a decent NHL player, so they got a few pieces to move around, and with guys like Kucherov, Stamkos, Point, you're going to be Hedman, you're Sergachev, McDonough. I mean, the defense core here.
Oh, that's scary. That is scary.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won 3 cups, and I think in a row, and I think that'll be the first team since the Islanders in the 80s. Yeah. So would not shock me if they won 3 cups. I don't really want to watch it because I'm sick of seeing the same teams win cups every year. So I'd like to see an underdog go for it, but if they did win it, I think it'd be a tremendous feat for hockey history.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to see it, honestly. And I don't think they lost that much. Like everybody was talking, they lost the third line. I think they have players there that are just just as good as what they lost. It's just you're losing the chemistry, and they've rolled. Those guys already had established on that team. You're losing the energy and kind of like the physical play, but I think you still got a great bottom six forward core there. Regardless, the biggest loss I think is Yanni Gord. I don't think people really understand how much he meant to that team.
Yeah, that's a tough loss, man. He was a hard working player for them. So.
Yeah, and I can't believe we haven't even mentioned it yet. The best goalie in the world. Like, it's not even a debate at this point anymore.
No, he's easily the best. He's
the best goalie in the world. And like, you get past that defense, and you still got buddies staring at you like this entirely. Just,
yeah, he's like this.
He's dialed in.
I'd be scared shitless to shoot on him, man.
Me too. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night and that's staring at you from your closet or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be his wife in bed with him. Just wake up.
No. Like imagine he sleeps with his eyes open too.
Yeah, probably.
Snoring like this.
They're going like this. In bed.
Twitching in his sleep, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good power rankings, man. We had some similar picks, and I think for the most part we had every team in the same general area.
Yeah, there's a couple flippity floppity teams there that could either miss the playoffs.
Vancouver, we had
Vancouver, New York Rangers, Dallas.
Yeah,
there's
we had
a few
teams, but for the most part, everything was generally the same area. So
for sure.
It's good to know that we both think the same way. So
I think so too.
It's a fun night.
All right. If do you have anything else?
Follow Hockey Tank on Instagram and follow Hockey Tank Podcast on YouTube.
Great ending. All right, folks. Still waiting for a guy from Germany and guy from Virginia to reach out. If you're listening to this, please follow us on our socials. We'd love to converse with you about our hockey thoughts.
Yeah, definitely.
But besides that, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This has been fun. We'll catch you next week.
See you next week.
Stay safe.